Scribble Hub. Thank you, Kartik Dogra, for becoming a member on Patreon. Shout out to you. Enjoy. The next day, Naruto, who had shared most of his burdens, was full of energy. Good morning. Kimimaro seemed a bit reserved today. Good morning. Naruto leaned over with a smile and asked, what's wrong? Are you not used to this? No, it's just that I've always been treated as a weapon, imprisoned in a cell, and released only when I needed to fight. Sleeping in a warm and soft bed like yesterday, sitting in a bright and spacious room to eat, receiving meticulous care from others. It's never happened before. So, do you like it? Well, but, what's the meaning? What? What is the meaning of life? Naruto felt a pain in his head. He hadn't pondered such deep questions at such a young age, spending his days thinking about life and play. No wonder he had been kidnapped by Orochimaru. In my memory, the original characters asked 3 similar questions. The first was Orochimaru, and then the third Hokage explained how a snake shedding its skin symbolized rebirth, which is the meaning of starting a new life. Later, the whole anime, the third Hokage, embraced the symbolism of rebirth. The third Hokage was truly a mentor who could guide wayward apprentices in the ninja world or brainwash them. The second was Itachi Uchiha, and then Orochimaru explained that life had no inherent meaning. If there were any, it would only exist when life was eternal. As a result, 4-year-old Itachi contemplated jumping off a cliff on the spot. He would have perished that day if he hadn't suddenly regained his senses and saved himself. The third one was Kimimaro, and Orochimaru told him that life might not have a predefined meaning, but perhaps he could find interesting things to pursue while living. Just like how you found that flower, and just like how I found you. As a result, Kimimaro's path crossed with Uncle Snake, by chance, shaping his life. Of course, there was also Gaara, who was similar in his willingness to become a tool that would never be discarded simply because he wanted to be needed. The children in this world, even if they were precocious, grew up too fast. Naruto didn't want to mislead Kimimaro as Orochimaru did. After all, they were just children, and they didn't truly understand the meaning of life. So Naruto decided to seek guidance from someone wiser, using the secret technique of summoning his father. Dad, Kimimaro asked what the meaning of life is. Minato and Kushina emerged from the kitchen with breakfast and took their seats. What is the meaning of life? Minato thought for a moment and then smiled. Everyone's answer is different, and you have to discover your answer. For instance, I find meaning in protecting. As a father, I must protect my children. As a husband, I must protect my wife. As Hokage, I must protect the village. These are the purposes that define my life. You're still young, and you can take your time to figure out your own goals. Protection? Kimimaro mumbled. Naruto nudged the still pensive Kimimaro with his elbow and pointed at Minato. How do you feel about us, compared to your previous clan? Kimimaro replied absently, it felt warm. I decided, I must protect the warmth. Kimimaro smiled at Naruto. Kimimaro clenched his fists, thinking about Minato's gentle smile, Naruto's bright smile, and the joyful look on Kushina's face when he looked at them. He made up his mind, I'm willing to dedicate my life to safeguarding such life. Maybe that's the meaning of my life. Alright, the food will get cold, Kushina reminded them. I'll take Kimimaro shopping for clothes and everyday necessities later, and Naruto, you're coming too. Okay. On that day, Naruto came to a profound realization. Shopping with a woman is exhausting, even if that woman is your mother. Why did they have to meticulously choose and inspect everything, picking up, putting down, and haggling? In his previous life, Naruto mostly shopped online. If he couldn't shop online, he'd head straight to the store, look for what he needed, glance at the price tags, and make the purchase. Are men just too simple or women are too complex? After enduring the ordeal, Kimimaro's supplies were fully stocked, and he officially moved into the room next to Naruto's. This also meant that Naruto would have a companion in his future training, and someone to learn basic literacy from. Though Kimimaro was 3 years older than Naruto, he had received little education outside of combat. Minato planned to have Kimimaro study at home for a while before enrolling him in the Ninja Academy. At night, Naruto lay down in his bed as usual and entered the sealed space. Hey, Big Fox, I'm back. Naruto waved in greeting. Kurama raised an eyelid, glanced at him, then closed it again and said nothing. Give me some kind of reaction. Could it be that you're angry because I didn't come yesterday? Cut it out. Oh, come on, can't you see, Big Fox, you care about me so much. Naruto made a playful expression. Stop being presumptuous, you brat. Yes, I'm being presumptuous. According to Naruto's estimation, this fox was about 10% caring, 20% soft, and the remaining 70% was pure ego. If Naruto had to evaluate it, he described it as an unappealing combination. He couldn't fathom the aesthetic sense of Sage of Six Paths. Among the 9-tailed beasts, Mitabi and Kurama had somewhat normal forms, while the others displayed bizarre appearances. Forget it, let's consider it a coincidence. Naruto didn't want to argue, and he couldn't convince the Sage of Six Paths anyway. By the way, do you have any issues with your fourth sibling? Kurama replied, no issues, I just defeated him. Naruto was intrigued. Tell me about the fight. There's not much to tell. He was weak, and I made him have 5 tails. By the way, do you fight with all 8 of them? Pretty much. Yuki is the one I spar with the most. That guy has a sharp tongue and thick skin, and it's quite satisfying to spar with him. 9 tails seemed to suddenly open up, sharing with Naruto the experiences of battling each of the tailed beasts. He grumbled, it's a shame that the 7th one can fly once he grows wings. He's hard to catch and ends up getting into fewer fights. Naruto looked at him with a puzzled expression. You're not a fox, you're a husky. You pick fights every day. The only difference is that your fighting ability is strong enough, so you can win after starting a fight. The 9 tails responded, this fox has sensed your hostility. What are you staring at? I admire your formidable fighting skills. HMPH, go on and tell your story. Alright. Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 17. Hidden Detonation Seals. Published by Scribble Hub. In the days that followed, Naruto would tell Kurama the stories of his previous life. Unconsciously, the relationship between the fox and him grew much closer. At least Naruto refrained from hitting the iron gate in front of him. He didn't beat it. Of course, he also finished telling the story of the original Naruto to Minato and Kushina, during which their reactions ranged from shock and sadness to anger. As for what action Minato would take after learning this information, Naruto didn't know. Judging solely from Kushina's reaction, she couldn't wait to catch Obito and hang him. After the beating, she might consider showing sympathy and forgiveness, or not. Unfortunately, when she thought about it, she knew that the child must be hiding very well. Even the Akatsuki organization had not yet reached that level in the story. For instance, Itachi was still a child, and he heard that he was preparing for the Chunin exams. The Great Shark was still in the Mist Village. Deidara was a student of the 3rd Tsuchikage. Despite Deidara often annoying his sensei, Onoki was still proud of him. He was a member of the Explosion Corps and possessed the explosion release Kekkei Genkai. In the end, Minato solemnly instructed Naruto not to discuss these matters with anyone again, promising to do his utmost to eliminate the danger and prevent Konoha from facing the kind of catastrophic crisis depicted in the story. The most pressing task at the moment was to remove the hidden detonation seals within Konoha village. Geno was originally a ninja from the land of mountains, Kagero village. More than 20 years ago, he was ordered to infiltrate Konoha disguised as a craftsman. During the village's construction, he concealed detonation seals in every corner of Konoha, with all the seals interconnected like a vast net, capable of blowing up the entire village. The original plan was to detonate them during the war between the 2 villages, but Konoha preemptively seized Kagero village's territory. After peace negotiations between the 2 villages, Geno never received orders to proceed. Subsequently, Kagero village disappeared, and no one could give him orders. Thus, these detonation seals remained hidden in place. However, Naruto had always thought this situation was absurd. How could so many people, especially ninjas with enhanced sensory talents, be unaware of these seals despite years of training? How come the ninja dogs introduced into the village by dog breeders never spotted them? Perhaps it was the will of the universe, author, that kept them hidden. But now that Minato knows about them, there was no need to worry. He could simply call on ninjas to search and dismantle them. This time, maybe Naruto could make a small profit. Detonation seals scattered throughout the village were quite valuable. The explosion seal situation was handled with remarkable ease, and Konoha narrowly avoided another calamity. Naruto didn't participate in this matter and continued to carry out his training tasks day by day. Each day, when he sparred with Kimimaro, he found himself struggling and could only occasionally take out his frustration on Sasuke. This routine continued until the end of the year. Naruto's suggestion to hold a New Year's festival eventually turned into a celebration of Konoha's unique traditions. The scene was filled with the sound of drums and fireworks. It was bustling with people. While not quite to the extent of what Naruto had imagined, lanterns adorned the village, fireworks illuminated the sky, and people moved about, creating a festive atmosphere throughout the village. Minato and Kushina led Kimimaro and Naruto to enjoy themselves. Naruto followed his parents with great interest, experiencing the unique festival celebration. Even the typically stoic Kimimaro occasionally displayed a happy smile. It seemed that he had fully adapted and genuinely enjoyed the life he now had. In February, Kimimaro had been in Konoha for over half a year. For the past 6 months, he had been receiving basic education at home, and now it was time for him to attend the Ninja Academy. Of course, 8-year-old Kimimaro was placed directly in the 3rd grade. On his first day of school, the entire family accompanied Kimimaro to the Ninja Academy. When he entered the 3rd grade classroom, it created quite a sensation. I said the 4th Hokage-sama, he's so handsome. I'm going to become Hokage one day. The 4th Hokage's wife is so beautiful. And when Kimimaro went to the front of the class with the teacher to introduce himself, the girls couldn't contain their excitement. The new transfer student is so handsome. Ah tilde Kimimaro tilde. Kushina stood by the classroom door and smiled. It looks like you're quite popular, Kimimaro. Get along well with your classmates. Yes, mother, Kimimaro nodded. After that, 3 of them bid farewell to Kimimaro. Minato said, I'm going to attend the opening ceremony of the 1st grade next. Do you want to take a look? Naruto shook his head. No, I'll watch it when I go to school. I don't want to listen to the 3rd Hokage's speech at all, so please forgive me. Kushina followed and said, then I'll take a look when I send Naruto to school. Minato was helpless, smiled, and said, okay, see you later. Kushina waved her hand. Goodbye, Minato. The mother and son walked out of the school, and as soon as they went out, they saw children fighting, and saw 3 children bullying a little loli. Ahem, a Hyuga. So ugly, you white-eyed monster. 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 Woo, the little girl squatted on the ground and cried while covering her face. Let go of that girl, Naruto shouted, trying to act like a hero. Am I a lolicon now? The 3 bullies turned around. Hey, there are adults here, run. Oh, X2. The 3 bullies ran away in a hurry. Naruto walked over, gently pulled up the little girl, and asked, are you alright? The little girl finally held back her tears. Thank you. Kushina came over and touched the little girl's head. Are you the child of the Hyuga family? Well, the little girl fiddled with her fingers nervously. My name is Hinata Hyuga. Kushina pulled Hinata's little hand and said with a smile, let's take you home. Hinata obediently followed Kushina's side. Naruto didn't add any drama but just observed. The 4-year-old Hinata was quite cute. Am I becoming a lolicon? As he walked, Kushina was still talking about her deeds. When I was a kid, there were punks who laughed at my hair and said that the red hair looked like a tomato, and then I beat them all one by one. Ha ha ha, then no one dared to laugh at me in person. Little Hinata, be brave. Hinata looked at Kushina with big eyes admiringly. How amazing. Looking at Hinata's reaction, Naruto thought to himself, if Kushina were to teach Hinata, she might end up turning her into a fierce, fearless version of herself. Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 18. Uzumaki Clan's Heritage. Published by Scribble Hub. After Kushina completed her 6th heroic deed of pinning down and beating up the person who mocked her, they finally arrived at the Hyuga home. It's here. Kushina let go of Hinata's small hand and encouraged her. Be braver in the future, Hinata-chan. Yes, thank you very much. Hinata bowed obediently in gratitude. Goodbye then. After returning home, Naruto realized that he had forgotten to leave his name for the good deeds just now. He didn't even say, I'm Naruto, bad luck. Naruto, Kushina interrupted his thoughts, handing him a book, and said, you have almost learned the necessary basic knowledge. The next thing to learn is this. Naruto took the book, which was as thick as a dictionary, and looked at the cover, Introduction to Sealing. Yes, sealing techniques, Kushina said. Naruto, you used the adamantine sealing chains when you were just born, which proves that you have perfectly inherited the blood of the Uzumaki clan. This is one of the reasons your father insisted on you keeping the Uzumaki surname. Our Uzumaki clan used to be famous for being good at sealing techniques, on par with the Senju and Uchiha clans. Our clan's advantages are strong vitality, a large amount of chakra, and our sealing techniques being more powerful than those of ordinary people. Mine can even suppress tailed beasts, which is why I became the Jinchuriki of the 9 tails. Since you have inherited the talent of the Uzumaki clan, come and learn sealing techniques. You know the importance of sealing techniques, right? Yeah, Naruto listened quietly to Kushina's speech. Of course, he knew that sealing techniques were very important. In the future, when facing enemies with undead attributes, like those using reanimation jutsu or Hidan, he could use sealing techniques on them. Even in the face of Orochimaru, that snake guy is a real problem. He can open the belly of the Shinigami and retrieve his hands when hit with the Reaper Death Seal and can still be resurrected through the Cursed Seal when hit with the Totsuka Blade Seal. Naruto didn't know how to deal with him. Sealing shouldn't be too difficult to learn, right? It's just different spells representing different functions. Write the spells according to certain rules, and then use chakra to exert various effects. It feels similar to programming, right? Can this stump me, a reincarnated person? 30 minutes later. What is this? WTF is going on? Am I stupid? Naruto looked at the Introduction to Sealing Techniques, written on the cover of the book again, and it seemed that it became Sealing Techniques from Beginner to Mastery, then Sealing Techniques from Beginning to Abandonment, and finally Sealing Techniques from Entry to Entry. At first, Naruto felt he could still memorize it, but after turning the page, he felt like 15, 16, 20, 25, 35 were too difficult. Fortunately, he could ask Kushina to solve his doubts. Kushina still had experience in teaching others the sealing technique. Her first disciple was her husband, the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze. Kakashi also came to learn for a while. In the beginning, he copied several commonly used sealing techniques with the help of the Sharingan. Now, Kushina's request for Naruto was to understand the basics and principles of sealing, which is still far from real application. Just like after we learned Pythagoras' theorem in school, we couldn't use it except to solve problems. Naruto, who had been learning the sealing technique for half a day, worked extraordinarily hard today, even breaking the sandbag and spreading the sand all over the floor. Then Kushina taught him a lesson, telling him to practice his fists and feet on wooden stakes outside in the future. Although the process of learning sealing techniques was not smooth, it didn't prevent Naruto from bragging to Kurama at night. Big Fox, I'm starting to learn sealing, Naruto smiled. Kurama sighed deeply, humph. Kurama said bitterly, when the old man was in this world, we had freedom. Then Madara tried to control us, but Hashirama Senju defeated him and he distributed us like candy to villages. We are weapons for them now. All my brothers are tortured because we are tailed beasts. I tried to escape to save my brothers. But I could only wait for Mito to die because she knew sealing techniques. After finally waiting for Mito's life to end, Kushina comes, and the most annoying thing is that she also knows sealing techniques. I had no choice but to wait and was finally released, however, was sealed by that yellow-haired guy again, and it was still sealed in 2 halves. Kushina's side doesn't need to think about it for the time being, so there is still some hope for this kid. Well, now this kid has also started to learn sealing techniques, and let the fox live. This kid is also, you can learn if you want to learn. If you have time, you might as well tell the old man a few stories. I've heard more stories during this time, and the whole fox culture has improved. Just like the kid said, what is men of culture? Don't be so negative, big fox. Think about the good in everything. At least when I've mastered the sealing technique, I can improve your living environment. Kurama said to Naruto, go away. Tsunere, fox. Come here, brat. Spring ends and summer solstice arrives, and then autumn and winter come. Naruto practiced hard in winter and summer. From the village perspective, he was as strong as a calf. Although he never won against Kimimaro, he never lost against Sasuke. He felt like he could fight 2 or 3 people without a problem, normally. This year seemed to have gone by very fast. Kimimaro had long been the top student in his class, and almost no one in the senior class was his opponent. With his current strength, there was no problem applying for early graduation, but Minato insisted that he finish ninja school and make more friends. A family of 4 sometimes went out together, went shopping, ate, and had picnics. It is worth mentioning that Minato liked Ichiraku ramen, Naruto liked the grilled meat, and Kimimaro preferred a dessert shop with dango. Kushina liked the rice cooked by Minato the most. The ordinary life continued until the end of the year without any change, but on December 30th, a small event made Naruto very happy. Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 19. Kurama the Sadist. Published by Scribble Hub. The third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, was delighted to be the grandfather of the newborn. Due to the close friendship between their families, he felt it was only right to visit and see his grandson. "Aw, so cute," Kushina exclaimed, looking at the baby on the bed. The third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, his wife Bawako, and their son Sarutobi Shinosuke with his wife were gathered around the newborn. Sarutobi Shinosuke, the eldest son of the third Hokage, held an important position in Anbu. He wasn't well known because of his secretive role, but in the manga, he sacrificed himself for an unknown reason, leaving behind his only son, Konohamaru. Naruto also leaned over to take a look. The baby was cute and small, resembling a little monkey, befitting the Sarutobi surname. But Naruto refrained from saying that and instead asked, "What's his name?" The third Hokage, whose pipe had been confiscated before entering the house, stroked his beard and smiled. "I have chosen this child's name. I hope he can become a powerful ninja when he grows up." The third Hokage's beard twitched for a moment before he continued, "No, not just that. I also hope he can benefit Konoha. How about Sarutobi Yuki, bringing happiness to Konoha?" Bam, Kushina couldn't stand it and punched Naruto on the head. "Naruto, don't be rude. Listen to what the third Hokage has to say." Oh, Naruto rubbed his head, feeling aggrieved. Hehehe, it's all right, the third Hokage chuckled. "Naruto, you remind me so much of Minato." Silently, he added to himself, especially when it comes to choosing names. The third Hokage continued, "So I named him Konohamaru, Sarutobi Konohamaru." "What a good name, Konohamaru," Naruto echoed. Despite Naruto's attempt to suggest a different name, fate decided that Konohamaru would keep his name. After returning home, Naruto showed his belly to Kushina. "Mom, can my seal be changed?" "What's the matter? Is Kurama acting up?" Kushina asked, her expression stern, ready to deal with the Nine Tails if needed. No, we get along fine. I just want to improve the environment." Kurama, who listened to Naruto's stories every day, had even begun to laugh and occasionally shared chakra with him. "Why did you suddenly think of changing the environment?" Kushina asked, puzzled. "I talk to the big fox every day, tell stories, and all. The sealed space is like a sewer. It's very uncomfortable, so I want to change it." "Theoretically, it is possible. The 8 trigram seal is very flexible. It represents the elements of nature and can be combined into many kinds of environments. Then I want a forest-style one with a meadow, lake, and river attached. A little mountain in the distance, and the environment should be brighter. It would be better if day and night could alternate." Kushina listened to Naruto's requests, the corners of her mouth twitching. "This is real jutsu. Do you think it's ordering a meal or building a house?" Frustrated, she slapped Naruto lightly. Naruto covered his head, realizing he'd been too presumptuous. "All right, just make it more refreshing and comfortable. Listen, the seal of the 9 tails is very important. I'll discuss it with Minato when he comes back tonight. You must not tamper with it," Kushina warned. "Yeah," Naruto nodded obediently. "By the way, what is the sealed space like on your side, Mom?" "It's almost the same as before, except the 9 tails is just tied to a big stone ball." "Haven't you two had a good talk?" "That stubborn fox, he has a terrible temper. Do you want me to beg him to talk to me nicely?" Naruto hesitated, thinking the other half of Kurama was truly unfortunate. When a proud monster meets a fiery temper woman, it's a tough match. At night, Kurama, who was waiting to hear a story, was dozing off. Suddenly, the water on the ground seeped away, and grass sprouted, forming a lawn large enough for the fox to roll around on. The original black ceiling turned into a sky with blue clouds. Though there were still boundaries, the original fence and gate were covered with vines, and ever morning glories bloomed. Kurama noticed the change, looked around, and saw Naruto standing at the door waving. "Yo, big fox, how do you feel?" Humph, Kurama lay down again. This new setup was undeniably more comfortable than lying in the water. "Don't be so ungrateful. My mom finally agreed to help change it. I promised you I'd learn the sealing technique and change it myself, but since I'm still learning, it would take years to reach that level, so I had to ask for help." Kurama's tail twitched slightly. Naruto noticed Kurama's subtle movements. "All right, let's continue the story." Naruto cleared his throat, continuing from last time. After seeing a vision, Griffith tries to run away from camp. He falls and finds the band again. As the band get close to him, the moon begins to cover the sun and starts a solar eclipse. Kurama loved dark stories for some reason, or he is a sadist, perhaps. Whether it worked or not, at least the bond between Naruto and Kurama grew stronger. In the future, Naruto could confidently ask Kurama for chakra as a fee for the stories. Naruto said to Kurama, "I let you enjoy so many stories for free. When I face difficulties, can I ask you for help, and you'll help me, right? Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 20. Ninja Academy. Published by Scribble Hub. Here's one more chapter today. Enjoy. Good night, everyone. Konoha's Ninja Academy opening ceremony was as lively as ever, and boring. When it came to the speech of the third Hokage, the eyes of other children were shining, but Naruto was drowsy. There was no excitement in him at all. To those who possess the will of fire, everyone is family. The desire to protect one's family builds thicker and stronger bonds between each and everyone in the village. If the will of fire is embraced by everyone, the village will be all right no matter what happens. The third Hokage said with a joyful face and warm smile. Oh, there was another boy with pineapple-shaped hair who had a similar reaction to Naruto and looked like he was about to fall asleep. What a drag. After the beautifully written, rich in content, clear in theme, and sleep-inducing speech was over, the children left their parents and went back to their respective classes. The classroom of the ninja school was an amphitheater with long, slender desks, and the positions had already been allocated. It was said to be random. There were 30 people in Naruto's class. He observed them: the fat, the thin, the yellow-haired, the pink-haired, the spiky-headed, those with painted faces, those wearing hoods and sunglasses, the arrogant and cool ones in the front row, and the person beside him who looked down and played with his fingers. With these people and himself, this year's 9 rookie class was complete. Looking at the little girl beside him, Naruto decided to say hello. Hello, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. I remember your name is Hinata, right? Why yes. Hinata's face visibly reddened, her mind full of thoughts. He remembers me, he still remembers me, That aunt taught me to be brave, but now I can't even speak clearly. Hinata lowered her head in frustration, her mind racing. Naruto was puzzled. How can I continue this conversation with your reaction? Forget it. Let's talk about it later. Why did Iruka become a teacher? His parents didn't die in the Nine Tails attack this time. Why? At this time, Iruka wrote a few big characters on the blackboard and said, "From today onwards, I will be your teacher. My name is Iruka Amino, and I hope to get along well with everyone in the future." The children applauded respectfully. Let's get to know each other. The classmates whose names I read, please come to the podium. Iruka looked down at the list and said, the first one, Sakura Haruno. My name is Sakura Haruno. Here comes the ultimate simp of Sasuke and ultimate hater of Naruto. Will she treat me the same as the original? I don't hate her, but if she tried to treat me like Naruto, I think I should show her some gender equality. By the way, have you heard the name Sakura Haruno somewhere? Is it an important supporting role? I can't remember. Next, Kiba Inuzuka. Naruto perked up a little and looked over. A spiky-headed boy was standing on the podium, his face painted with oil paint in the shape of a dog's tooth, and there was a small white dog on his head. Huh? Where's Akamaru? Kiba had already spoken. I'm Kiba Inuzuka. I like dogs. My dream is to be a Hokage and let everyone have dogs. Naruto watched the spirited boy get off the stage and return to his seat. He walked with confidence, but he didn't notice where Akamaru was. Is he not yet born? Possibly. It seems that wanting to pet the dog is out of the question, so let's think about a way to pet my fox, but he will be angry if I try. Next, Sasuke Uchiha. As soon as Sasuke came to the stage, it caused a little riot among the girls in the class. This guy was good-looking and arrogant. The young master vibes, Naruto thought while looking at Sasuke. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. My hobby is training and becoming stronger, and my dream is to be as good as my brother. After speaking, he glanced at Naruto intentionally or unintentionally. Naruto pondered, does this kid think he can do it again? Why does he never learn? Next, Naruto Uzumaki. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I like many things. My dream is world peace. Naruto didn't know what to say. He wanted to say he wanted to protect the people he valued, but he felt it was too embarrassing. A few of the girls said that Naruto was handsome, but more said he wasn't as handsome as Sasuke. It seems that the girls in Konoha prefer Sasuke's cold and arrogant style. It's no wonder that in some romance dramas, so many people like to watch a male protagonist with a straight face every day. What were they called? K-drama. Naruto was not jealous. After observing the classmates, Naruto tried his best to remember their names. Although they were all just strangers, they were still his classmates. The bored Naruto looked at the class schedule and found that the content to be learned was quite rich, including Ninja World Common Language, Ninja World History, Ninja World Geography, Basic Arithmetic, Basic Ninjutsu and Taijutsu classes, etc. It feels like listening in class or not is about the same, and why is there no theory class on the Will of Fire? Should he skip class? Forget it. If he skipped class and went home, he might get beaten up, so let's chat with the fox spirit and bring that book on sealing techniques tomorrow. When Naruto finished telling the fox a chapter of Asterisk Berserk, the class's self-introductions were over. Iruka started to teach the first lesson, the foundation of ninjas using ninjutsu, chakra. Chakra is derived from 130 trillion cells in the human body. It is the basis for ninjas to use various ninjutsu, bala, and refining chakra requires, bala. Naruto tried according to what Iruka said. He felt that it was not as easy to use as what his mother taught him. Maybe his mother taught him her special skills. From the looks of these children, it seems that they are learning smoothly. It is not difficult for people in this world to refine chakra. As for the seals that Iruka talked about later, Naruto said that he learned them in his previous life. He can even perform Chidori, Fireball, and even water dragon bombs with 44 seals. It's a pity that Naruto can't release any of them right now. If he knew the order of the seals, he could release ninjutsu, but then the copying ability of the Sharingan would become a joke. There must be some coordination skills involved. For Naruto, the morning class was boring. If he hadn't been accompanied by the fox spirit, he would have fallen asleep long ago. When he heard the word end of class, it meant it was time for lunch. Naruto took out his bento and naturally sat beside Sasuke. What are you doing here? Sasuke was vigilant. For some reason, he always felt that Naruto wanted to make fun of him. I'll see what Aunt Makoto has cooked. Naruto smiled, hinting that he wanted to eat. HMPH. Sasuke opened the lunchbox. Wow, isn't this my favorite fried shrimp? Naruto rudely took one and took a big bite. Delicious. You bastard, this is my bento. Don't be so disrespectful. It's not a big deal. You can eat my meatballs. Naruto gave Sasuke a ball and then took a shrimp. Aunt Makoto's cooking is really good. As expected of a woman who has raised 2 children, Naruto thought happily. After several years, Sasuke still couldn't adapt to Naruto's shameless appearance. This guy seemed to conflict with the etiquette he had learned in every move. A big family like Uchiha still has some rigid etiquette. Although it is not as serious as the Hyuga, it is not as loose as Naruto. Every time Naruto went to grab a meal, Sasuke felt that his peaceful dining table was disturbed by Naruto, and this guy had very similar tastes to himself, always grabbing the dishes he liked. Eating at the same table with him is like fighting a war. If it wasn't for my brother who often served me dishes, HMPH, as expected, my brother is the best. For a creature like Naruto, eating this 10,000 times won't be enough. The lunch was enjoyed by the host and guests, probably. Naruto wiped his mouth and put away the bento box. Thank you for your hospitality, Sasuke. After speaking, he patted Sasuke on the back. Cough, cough, cough. Before Sasuke could swallow his last mouthful of food, Naruto nearly choked him on food. Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 21. Naruto vs Sasuke 1. Published by Scribble Hub. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Naruto shouted as he sprinted away. Crack. Sasuke snapped his chopsticks in frustration, gritted his teeth, and yelled, Uzumaki. When I catch you. Naruto ran so fast that he couldn't be caught, deciding to avoid the fight for now. He realized he was at fault and couldn't believe he was getting more and more naive, arguing with a 6-year-old. In the afternoon, the class was a taijutsu session. Iruka-sensei explained, you will all be ninjas in the future, so let's use your strength to get to know each other. The first group for training, Sasuke Uchiha versus Naruto Uzumaki. Sasuke stepped forward, clenching his fists tightly and glaring at Naruto. Naruto smirked. Hey, don't be angry. Didn't I apologize? Sasuke gritted his teeth. Stop babbling. I'm going to beat you today. The battle begins. Both sides form the seal of confrontation. Iruka-sensei announced, making sure everyone paid attention. Naruto thought Iruka-sensei could have said a few more things like 1. Don't be impatient. 2. Never miss any important details. 3. The referee must always be fair. Naruto and Sasuke formed the seal of confrontation instinctively. They had done this many times before. Sasuke noticed Naruto seemed distracted. He couldn't understand why Naruto always had so many random and irrelevant thoughts. Naruto's inattentive attitude at the beginning of the battle was irritating. Even though Sasuke was used to it, it still bothered him. Sasuke charged forward, aiming a punch at Naruto's face. He wanted to do this for a long time. Naruto blocked the punch with his forearm and countered by swinging his other hand at Sasuke's face. Naruto had been annoyed with Sasuke's handsome face for quite a while. Sasuke jumped back. There was no chakra-enhanced strike. It wasn't the Chidori. The first round was just a warm-up, testing if the opponent's strength and speed had improved. As expected, both had progressed, and neither had slacked off. They moved in again, their fists and palms clashing. It was hard to tell who had the upper hand, but Sasuke knew he was at a disadvantage. Naruto had tough skin and strong endurance. Once Sasuke's strength waned, Naruto would overpower him. They were very familiar with each other's moves. Sasuke knew Naruto's next move, so he dodged and swept his leg. Naruto jumped to avoid the sweep. Sasuke took the opportunity to kick sideways, but Naruto caught his calf and threw him to the ground. Naruto figured this move wouldn't be very effective. Sasuke would probably pull off some acrobatic escape. Sure enough, Sasuke used his hand to flip midair, landing gracefully and drawing cheers from the onlookers. Showing off again, huh, Naruto thought, rushing over and twisting into a sweeping kick. The secret taijutsu of the blue beast, leaf whirlwind. Sasuke dodged the initial kick aimed at his head, but Naruto continued his spin, sweeping Sasuke's legs out from under him. Whoa, Sasuke lost his balance and fell. Naruto swiftly pinned him down, ready to strike. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki. Form the seal of reconciliation, Iruka-sensei announced, saving Sasuke from further embarrassment. Iruka-sensei was impressed. These two, based on their physical prowess alone, were already at a genin level. It was no surprise, given their heritage. Naruto got off Sasuke and extended 2 fingers. Humph. Sasuke grudgingly hooked Naruto's fingers with his own, completing the seal. A group of girls nearby called out to Sasuke. Ah, what a pity, Sasuke-kun lost. Yeah, but Sasuke was so cool. But Naruto was awesome too. Sasuke is still cooler. Don't you think Sasuke and Naruto make a good match? Are you guy? Hinata, however, quietly whispered to herself, Naruto-kun is amazing. Naruto's mouth twitched as he overheard. Did something weird get mixed up in Sasuke's fan group? Hey, that move just now, what was it? Sasuke asked awkwardly. Naruto turned and saw Sasuke looking at him, clearly puzzled. Naruto shrugged and explained, that move is called leaf whirlwind. The upper kick blocks the opponent's retreat. The actual attack is with the lower kick. It was taught to me by Might Guy, who calls himself Konoha's proud blue beast. Sasuke nodded. It was a strong move, but the name was strange. Naruto's friends were as unusual as he was. Next time, I'll beat you. Sure, Naruto replied, having heard it many times before. Don't look down on me. I'm going to train with my brother, and I'll defeat you. Sasuke exclaimed. Naruto dismissed the idea. Big brother Itachi is so busy, how does he have time to teach you? Sasuke suddenly felt discouraged. Since his brother joined Anbu, he had become busier and spent less time with him. Forget it. If that doesn't work, I'll find someone else to teach me. All this is to defeat Naruto, prove myself, surpass my brother, and make my father proud. Naruto watched Sasuke's changing expressions, finding it amusing. The other students' fights were less interesting, more like children flailing at each other. They barely knew a few moves. Shino and Kiba seemed somewhat competent, but Sasuke could probably defeat them in 3 moves. Choji and Shikamaru, who could have been promising, didn't end up fighting. Choji was too kind-hearted. Shikamaru is my friend. How can I fight my friend? Iruka-sensei explained, this is just a training exercise, not a real battle. It's fine. But what if I hurt him? Choji didn't want to fight. If you want to be a ninja, you will inevitably get hurt. The teacher is here to ensure safety. But, no, I don't want to fight Shikamaru, Choji insisted. Shikamaru couldn't stand it anymore. This is too troublesome, teacher. I concede. The two of you, Iruka-sensei sighed. He had seen students afraid of getting hurt, but never ones who refused to fight for fear of hurting others. Even if they were kind, it was too much. Their families were fighting ninjas, not medics. And Shikamaru, how could a child be lazier than his father? Iruka-sensei was out of ideas. Next time, he would give them different opponents or find another way to solve this. Children's personalities were the hardest to change. Naruto nudged Sasuke with his elbow. Sasuke, what do you think? Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 22. Peaceful Life. Published by Scribble Hub. Cowards, Sasuke frowned. How could someone who didn't even dare to take a fight be a ninja? Don't be so cold, Sasuke. Those two are good friends, Naruto said. Sasuke was confused. One didn't dare to make a move, and the other conceded defeat. What's good about that? Both of them are thinking of each other. One is afraid the other will get injured and doesn't take action, and the other is afraid the other will be embarrassed by the teacher and admit defeat, Naruto explained. So what? Sasuke asked. Of course, I want to get to know them. What's wrong with having more friends? Naruto said, genuinely liking Shikamaru and Choji. In the original series, the two didn't show any disgust towards Naruto like the others. They even formed a group of 4 with Naruto and Kiba to skip class together. Shikamaru once asked his father, Shikaku, why do people in the village hate Naruto? Shikaku replied, what do you think of him? Shikamaru answered, I don't hate him. Shikaku then said, do what you think is right. Choji once nearly fought for Naruto. Even though these events hadn't happened yet, Naruto still felt a natural affection for them. So, he wanted to get to know them better. Shikamaru and Choji, right? Hello. Naruto pulled Sasuke, who wore a reluctant expression, over to Shikamaru and Choji, who had just left the field. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and this guy is Sasuke Uchiha. I know you guys. You're amazing, Shikamaru said, noticing how almost all the girls' eyes followed the two of them. He sighed, thinking, what a drag. They seem like very troublesome guys. Shikamaru finally mustered a bit of energy and continued, so, what's up? Choji, who had been silent, stepped forward to half-block Shikamaru, worried that the two were there to cause trouble. Naruto said calmly, it's nothing. I just think you two are pretty cool, so I wanted to get to know you. At this, Choji, who wasn't particularly chubby yet, looked a bit stunned. He had always felt a bit inferior because of his plumpness and other children disliked him for being clumsy and didn't like to play with him. Only Shikamaru didn't laugh at him for this, so Choji only had Shikamaru as a friend. Now that someone said he was not bad, Choji was a little overjoyed. Don't you think I'm fat? Choji asked anxiously. Does that have anything to do with making friends? Naruto replied nonchalantly, what's wrong with being chubby? Naruto had a few chubby classmates in his previous life, who were mild-mannered and had good temperaments. Being around them was fun. Choji, you are also a member of the Akimichi clan. I've always believed that the Akimichi clan's strength allows them to make their companions feel safer, right, Sasuke? Naruto said truthfully and then attempted to involve Sasuke. Sasuke nodded. He had heard of the Akimichi clan. He didn't care about Choji's stature, as long as he was strong enough. Shikamaru was happy for Choji. If he could make new friends, Choji would be happy. Shikamaru turned his head, and sure enough, Choji was moved to the point of tears, sniffing hard. Thank you, I'm so happy, Choji said. Naruto didn't expect Choji's reaction to be so strong. He waved his hand and said, it's okay. Why don't I invite you to eat Ichiraku ramen tomorrow at noon? It's delicious. Sasuke found his blind spot. Why not after school? Because today is the first day of school. My mother told me to come home early. Naruto sighed and patted Sasuke on the shoulder. The consequences of disobedience, Sasuke, you understand. Sasuke shuddered at the thought of a terrifying figure with flowing red hair and looked at Naruto with more sympathy. I'm lucky my mom is gentle through, but I heard from my mother that she wanted me to recognize Aunt Kushina as my trainer. No way. In all fairness, Aunt Kushina used to be pretty good, cheerful and liked to laugh, praising me for being cute every time. But once, I made her angry, and she strangled me by the neck and drilled her fists on the top of my head. When Shikamaru heard Naruto's words and saw Sasuke's reaction, he roughly understood something. Sure enough, moms are troublesome creatures. Thinking that when he got home, his mother would ask about his school situation. After he made friends, his mother would brag about how well she had done and then start to nag if he was listless again. After 3 minutes, she would drag his father, who was watching the fun, into it, saying that no one in the Nara family could be saved. Fortunately, their son was still young and could be corrected quickly. His father would probably try to defend a bit and then lose the battle, secretly using ninjutsu to plug his ears, giving himself a headache until dinner was over. Troublesome. Maybe I should try to learn ninjutsu, at least enough to sneak in earplugs, Shikamaru thought. And Shoji's mind was full of thoughts about the ramen for lunch tomorrow. Naruto's treat. At the end of the afternoon class, the 4 little friends walked out of the school together. Shoji and Shikamaru were led away by their parents. Shoji happily waved goodbye to Naruto and Sasuke, while Shikamaru waved with lazy attitude. Naruto noticed that Hinata went back with Neji, and when Neji said something with a smile, Hinata replied in a low voice. It seemed they had a good relationship. Sasuke called out to his brother with a look of surprise, ran over, and hugged Itachi's thigh. Well, because of the height difference, Sasuke could only hug his thigh. Itachi smiled and said hello to Naruto, then led Sasuke away. Naruto went back with Kimimaro. I also have a family now. Naruto, who went to school for the first day, had to talk about today's experience when he got home. Sasuke did the same, complaining to Itachi with a frustrated face, saying that he had lost to Naruto again and wanted to learn ninjutsu from his brother. Shoji told his father, Choza, that he had made 2 new friends and happily ate 2 more bowls of rice. Choza was also happy for his son, so he served him another bowl. As for Shikamaru's house, it was similar to what Shikamaru had guessed. Shikaku was soon discovered by his wife after putting on the earplugs and was scolded for half an hour. Shikamaru was thinking about how he would wear earplugs in the future. Hinata finished her evening training, coaxed Hanabi to sleep, and lay tiredly in her bed. Thinking that she would see Naruto again tomorrow, she smiled sweetly and fell asleep. Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 23. Horny Girls. Published by Scribble Hub. The next day, Naruto went to school with Kimimaro, carrying a book of sealing techniques. When he arrived in the classroom, he greeted Hinata with a warm smile and then immediately dived into his book. It was typical of Naruto to focus intensely on his training, and Hinata admired his dedication, believing it is the secret behind his growing strength. Naruto's skill with sealing techniques had improved significantly. He could now use storage scrolls proficiently, meaning he wouldn't need to carry a backpack in the future. This is no small feat for a young ninja. Though storage scrolls were expensive, Naruto used them freely. It wasn't because his family was wealthy, it was because Kushina knew how to make them, and she made them exceptionally well. Most of the high-quality storage scrolls in the ninja shop came from Kushina's skilled hands. In recent years, while taking care of Naruto, Kushina had made many scrolls out of boredom. Selling them turned out to be just as profitable as completing missions. However, the demand for these scrolls wasn't very high, and the market was very saturated. Not every ninja used scrolls as extensively as Tenten, who treated them almost as disposable. Any extra scrolls at home could be traded with any wealthy shinobi. At noon, Naruto invited Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Shoji to eat at Ichiraku Ramen. The council of boys sat in a row, eagerly anticipating their meals. Naruto had a bowl of tonkatsu ramen. Shoji had a bowl of tonkatsu ramen. Sasuke had a bowl of miso chashu pork ramen. Shoji had a bowl of miso chashu pork ramen. Shikamaru had a bowl of vegetable ramen. Shoji had a bowl of vegetable ramen. Shoji had a bowl of miso ramen. Shoji had a bowl of miso ramen. The scene was almost comical, reminiscent of the Sage of Six Paths distributing chakra to the tailed beasts. Shikamaru and Naruto had anticipated Shoji's appetite, but Sasuke was left wide-eyed, knowing Shoji had a big appetite but not realizing it was this extreme. Fortunately, Naruto had enough pocket money. When he asked funds for the dinner party, Kushina, knowing there would be a member of the Akamichi clan, had generously added extra to the amount. After finishing their meals, Shoji rubbed his small stomach and sighed contentedly. That was delicious. Thanks for the ramen, Naruto. Next time, I'll treat you to a barbecue. I know a great place. Okay, Naruto agreed cheerfully. The 4 friends returned to school and went their separate ways. Before Naruto opened his book, he noticed a little girl with pale yellow hair, Ino, nervously approaching him. Naruto, are you free? She asked timidly. Naruto put down his book and replied, Ino, what's up? Do you have a good relationship with Sasuke? It's okay, Naruto nodded, remembering the bond they had formed from playing together as kids. Sasuke might not remember, but Naruto cherished those memories. Then do you know what kind of girl Sasuke likes? So that was it. Naruto almost thought she was interested in him. He pondered whether Sasuke liked girls. Sasuke's favorite person was undoubtedly his brother, followed by his parents, then Naruto, Shikamaru, Choji, and lastly, everyone else. Is it normal for a 6-year-old girl to care about this? Are girls in this world too horny? Naruto decided to be honest. Sasuke is interested in people stronger than him. Even if they aren't as strong as him, they should at least have some special skills. Ino's face fell in disappointment, but Sasuke is so strong, it's impossible to surpass him. Isn't there anything else, like hairstyle or personality? If I had to say, he probably likes someone good at housework, has long hair, and a gentle smile, Naruto said, describing Sasuke's mother, Makoto. Got it, thanks, Naruto. She was happy because she could now win Sasuke's favor. She planned to invite Naruto for dinner in the future. Thank you, Naruto. Multiple voices chimed in. Ino's smile froze as she turned and saw a group of girls surrounding her and Naruto. The information has been leaked. Why is this happening? You guys, the girls started arguing. Naruto wasn't interested. These girls were not his type. They don't have sense of insecurity like me. I think that they are just children right now. Naruto continued studying his sealing techniques. Little did he know, gossip about Sasuke's ideal type would spread that day, causing rifts among friends and leading almost every girl in the class to grow her hair long. From spring to autumn, as the girl's hair grew more than 10 centimeters, a year passed. During this year, Sasuke learned the fireball jutsu. Confidently showing off a large fireball, he was surprised when Naruto, who was secretly learned a water jutsu from Kushina, countered with a water stream, drenching Sasuke and chilling him to the bone. Sasuke was disheartened and took days to recover before asking his brother to teach him new ninjutsu. Naruto had finished reading Introduction to Sealing Techniques, and Kushina commented that Naruto's current level was enough for an internship in the sealing class. She then gave him Mastering Sealing Techniques. Regarding water ninjutsu, Naruto discovered he had dual water and wind chakra natures, likely inherited from his parents. Deciding to learn water techniques first, Naruto looked up to the second Hokage, Tobirama Senju. It's not that Naruto didn't want to learn the Rasengan, his chakra control wasn't advanced enough yet. Tree climbing and water walking were next on his list. The Flying Raijin was also on hold until he graduated from the Ninja Academy. The King Kong blockade technique is still challenging for a 7-year-old Naruto. So, Naruto focused on water ninjutsu for now. Not only could it be used to counter Sasuke's fire techniques, but it could also be used in blocking enemy. However, after teaching him water release, water stream, Kushina waited nearly a month to teach water release, water wall, claiming Naruto needed practice, but Naruto sensed she was hiding something. What Naruto didn't know was this. In the Sarutobi household, Kushina was learning water techniques from the third Hokage. What's with this technique? Kushina looked frustrated. The third Hokage explained, there are two types of water walls, one for broad defense and one that covers all around, including above your head. Ah, I see. Why the sudden interest in water ninjutsu, Kushina? Ninjutsu isn't your strong suit. Naruto asked me to teach him. He rarely asks for anything besides sealing techniques. Now he's interested in water ninjutsu, so I want to teach him myself. You can send Naruto to me directly. No, it's about my pride as a mother. Please continue teaching me. Kushina resembled a parent studying alongside their child for exams. All right, the third Hokage agreed. He enjoyed teaching, and with nothing else to do besides spending time with grandson, he was happy to help. Next, let's learn the water dragon jutsu. Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 24. Zabuza vs Team 7. Published by Scribble Hub. Unlike Kushina, who is full of energy, several children in the Uchiha family seem to have suffered a lot recently. Things started with the graduation ceremony of the ninja school. This year is the 55th year of Konoha. Uchiha Itachi has just turned 12 years old, and most students should graduate at this age. However, Itachi, a genius of the Uchiha family, went to the battlefield at the age of 5, graduated at the age of 7, also worked in Anbu for a year. But his 3 friends of the same age don't have his talent. Although they are stronger than ordinary students, that's all. It's nothing if it's just that, after all, not everyone is a genius. As usual, as long as they graduate successfully, they can join the Konoha Police Force, the proud department of the Uchiha clan. The Konoha Police Force was established by the second Hokage, Senju Tobarama, and its members are all from the Uchiha clan, responsible for maintaining the security of the village. Of course, this not only expressed the second Hokage's trust in Uchiha but also facilitated observation of Uchiha's every move. Mainly, Madara Uchiha betrayed Konoha and brought a large husky to demolish the village. The impact was too great, and Tobarama had to guard against it. But Tobarama didn't blindly reject Uchiha. He also cultivated a ninja like Uchiha Kagami, who was very good and close to the village. After Tobarama died, the senior Konoha leaders, led by the third Hokage and Danzo, did not fully understand Tobarama's intentions and blindly suppressed the Uchiha family. Under the blind operations of some people, there should be no objection to throwing this blame on Danzo. There were differences between Uchiha clan and Konoha. At the same time, voices within the Uchiha clan calling for a coup loudly emerged, causing Uchiha Fugaku, the clan head, a great deal of headaches. It was not until the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, took control in recent years that the situation improved. Everyone knows that the fourth Hokage once had a disciple from the Uchiha clan who died heroically in the war. Of course, they didn't know that the hero Obito, who was presumed dead, was alive, and Minato was worried about how to find him. These were not the concerns of the 3 Uchiha friends who had just graduated. They just wanted to join the Konoha police force. However, the day before they were about to graduate, they were called by the clan head Fugaku. Fugaku sat on his knees in his living room, looked at the 3 somewhat restrained young people in front of him, and said with a serious face, Gen, Daiki, Jiro, you will graduate soon. Uchiha Gen, Uchiha Daiki, and Uchiha Jiro replied in unison, yes, Patriarch. Originally, I should have arranged for you to join the police force, but the plan has changed. The 3 of them were a little flustered. They had been looking forward to that day for a long time. The police force is the proud department of the Uchiha clan and the dream of every child. Could it be that their grades were so poor that the clan head was disappointed? Don't be nervous. It's not because of your lack of ability but because of other arrangements for you. Fugaku briefly talked about Uchiha's situation and continued, over the years, I have had many exchanges with the 4th Hokage, and we have been working hard for Uchiha to integrate into Konoha smoothly. Now Shisui has joined the Shadow Guards, and 4th Hokage holds him in very high regard. According to Shisui, the 4th Hokage once instructed him on the body flicker technique, almost treating the members of the Shadow Guards as his students. And Itachi has already joined Anbu, and the 4th Hokage deliberately asked his disciple Kakashi Hatake to lead him for a while. But just the 2 of them are not enough. I also hope you can work hard for it. The 3 of them were both excited and apprehensive. They didn't expect the Patriarch to entrust such an important matter to them. Did he want them to join Anbu? Or even the Shadow Guard? Gen dared to ask, so, what do we need to do? Fugaku said, I want you to be like ordinary ninjas. After graduation, you will form a team of 3, led by a Jonin, to perform tasks. Not only you but also future graduates of the clan will do the same, including my son Sasuke. The 3 of them silently digested Fugaku's words. Their long-standing dream was shattered by the words of the clan head. But at the same time, the clan head seemed to have high hopes for them, otherwise, he would not have explained so much. This feeling made them a little overwhelmed. Anyway, gather on time tomorrow, and the village will appoint a very good Jonin as your leader. In the future, follow his instructions and don't bring shame to the glory of the Uchiha clan. Yes, X3. The 3 responded reflexively, then left in a daze. At 5:30 the next morning, the 3 of them arrived at the gate of Konoha. This was the location the head teacher had told them. To give the teacher a good impression, they arrived half an hour early. The Patriarch said that the leading teacher is an excellent Jonin, so he would be very serious, as majestic and powerful as the clan head. They must not be late. The 3 of them stood in place and waited, but 20 minutes later, the teacher hadn't come yet. It was still too early. Except for the 2 guards at the gate, there was no one around, except for an occasional green-clad figure running in various strange postures. At 6 o'clock, when the 3 of them were getting a little impatient, the green-clad figure, who had passed by for the 3rd time, stopped in front of them, with teeth seeming to flicker with a strange light. He raised a thumb and said, Yo, the 3 young men, are you Gen, Daiki, and Jiro? The 3 of them were stunned for a moment. They had a bad feeling and replied, yes. May we ask who you are? Good question. Guy struck a few self-assured poses and said, I am Konoha's proud green beast. Might Guy. From now on, I will be the leader of Team 4. Let's shed the sweat of our youth together. The mouths of the 3 of them dropped open, almost petrified on the spot. No matter how you look at this teacher, he doesn't seem normal. Is he the very excellent Jonin that the clan had mentioned? Have we misunderstood what excellence means? And what is Konoha's beast? I think you were Konoha's white fang. This tooth is going to blind our Sharingan that we haven't even awakened yet. Hello, teacher. The 3 poor children replied mechanically. First, they were unable to join the police force, and then they were disillusioned with the excellent Jonin. Their worldview was a bit shattered, and their eyes were faintly tearing up. Oh, Guy shed tears of excitement and hugged his 3 students. I became a teacher. I must do my best. Then, Gen, Daiki, Jiro, let's face the rising sun and have a hot-blooded morning run. This is youth. Support my work and join my Patreon community. By becoming a patron member, you'll get exclusive content and early access to 20 chapters ahead of public release. Your support helps me continue to create and share content that you love. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 25. The 3 Uchihas -2. Published by Scribble Hub. Since then, 3 new figures could be seen running against the rising sun on the streets of Konoha. Guy, leading his disciples for the first time, was thrilled. He noticed that the 3 children worked incredibly hard, diligently completing any training task, even if they ended up exhausted and unconscious. Gen, Daiki, and Jiro were struggling internally. This wasn't what they had envisioned, but they had to obey the teacher's arrangement as per the Patriarch's orders. They believed that failing to meet the training goals would embarrass the Uchiha clan, so they often encouraged each other in secret. Jen, don't let the teacher underestimate Uchiha. Daiki, for the glory of Uchiha. Jiro, me too. Jen, I am a ninja of Uchiha. Daiki, I can persevere. Jiro, me too. With unyielding belief, the three gritted their teeth and completed the nearly impossible physical training each day, earning Guy's admiration. Then, Guy made a significant decision. This outfit has excellent breathability and moisture retention and pursues the perfect shape and beautiful lines for easy movement. When you wear it, you will immediately feel the difference and become addicted. This is the proud secret of Konoha's Blue Beast. Guy took out 3 green jumpsuits and gave a thumbs up, his white teeth gleaming. This is a gift from me as your teacher. Go ahead and change into them. Jen, underscore. Daiki, underscore. Jiro, underscore. They took the clothes in a daze. They had become accustomed to obeying Guy's orders, whether it was running against the rising sun, running upside down against the sunset, or doing push-ups in the wind and rain. So, when Guy handed out the green jumpsuits, they took them reflexively. But wearing them was so embarrassing. Wouldn't it be disobedient if they didn't change? These slightly rigid teenagers, determined to uphold Uchiha's glory, took Guy's warm advice as an order to follow. In the end, 4 figures in green jumpsuits, 1 large and 3 small, shouted youthful slogans while running through the streets and alleys of Konoha. This spectacle caught the attention of the villagers. It also caught the eyes of Naruto, Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Choji. The 4 of them were out for dinner, staring blankly at the 4 odd figures running by. Naruto tugged at Sasuke's clothes and asked, Sasuke, why do those people shouting, youth, look familiar to me? Sasuke, unsure, said, those 3 seem to be from the Uchiha clan, and the same age as my brother. Shikamaru and Choji looked at Sasuke strangely. Everyone in the Uchiha family is like this? That's not it. Sasuke was annoyed. What happened to these people? Although we didn't know them well, they weren't like this before, right? Are they Uchiha? Naruto knew Guy. He guessed the 3 boys were from the Uchiha clan, hence his vague recognition. But Guy shouldn't have other students besides Lee and the others, right? Is this some kind of butterfly effect? Most other passersby didn't recognize the 3 children, but Guy was a well-known figure. The villagers speculated about whose child was so unlucky to end up like this at such a young age. Not to mention the reactions of passersby, Guy was in a very good mood. When the 4th Hokage let him lead the team, he was a little worried about whether he would be a good teacher. He didn't expect it to go so smoothly, and as expected, the youth did not let him down. Guy secretly made up his mind to teach these 3 lovely disciples with all his heart. As for General, Daiki, and Jiro, when they put on the jumpsuits, they felt like something was going to leave them. Uchiha Gen came home that night in despair. What the heck have I done today? Why did things turn out like this? I graduated from the ninja school smoothly and joined the ninja team. Even the overloaded training a few days ago, I gritted my teeth and endured it, but why did I put on those shameful jumpsuits today? And I followed Mr. Guy across the streets and alleys of Konoha. The glory of the Uchiha clan has been tarnished by me. I am the sinner of the Uchiha clan. Even the pain in my eyes can't surpass the pain in my heart. Huh? Eyes? Gen picked up a mirror and saw that his eyes were red, and there was a tomo around the pupil in each of his left and right eyes. This is the Sharingan. Gen. The next morning, Gen came to the meeting place with dark circles under his eyes and saw his 2 teammates, who also had dark circles under their eyes. You are, *3. I've awakened my Sharingan, *3. In an instant, the 3 of them, with their Sharingan activated, looked at each other. The 3 teenagers in green tights, staring at each other with their Sharingan, created a very strange scene. Finally, Gen was the first to speak. Last night, I felt like I had become a disgrace to Uchiha, and I felt very guilty inside. Daiki continued, I also felt like I had betrayed the trust of the patriarch and didn't deserve the name of Uchiha. Jiro, me too. Could it be? An incredulous expression appeared on Gen's face as he pulled at his extremely elastic collar and said in shock, is this all part of the patriarch's plan? Daiki echoed, that's why the patriarch said we should all obey Teacher Guy's orders. And the patriarch said our leading teacher is an excellent Jonin. The patriarch must have known that Teacher Guy could help us awaken our Sharingan. The more Daiki spoke, the more reasonable it seemed. I heard that Mr. Guy's best friend is Kakashi, who has the Sharingan. So, Mr. Guy must understand the Sharingan well and use this method to stimulate us. Jiro, I think so too. The 3 looked at each other, as expected of the patriarch, as expected of Mr. Guy. Fugaku, who had just watched his son leave, sneezed at the same time as Guy, who was leaping to the meeting point. Youth. At this moment, General, Daiki, and Jiro's admiration for Fugaku and Guy was like an endless ocean. I've decided. Gen smacked the palm of his left hand with his right hand and said, I'm going to have a haircut like Teacher Guy's. Daiki touched his long hair and nodded firmly. Okay, I agree. Jiro, me too. As for the shame and anger from yesterday, or the hard work from the past, what did the 3 say? With their newly awakened Sharingan, it was as if nothing had happened. Yo, my lovely disciples, you guys are extraordinarily shining today. Guy looked at the 3 freshly shorn heads, stretched out his thumb, and showed his big white teeth. Guy-sensei, we are ready. Let's start today's youth practice. The 3 disciples imitated Guy, stretching out their thumbs, showing the same smile. Oh, Guy burst into tears. This is youth. Let's go. Oh, X3. A new day had begun. Hey, everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapter, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. Naruto, The New Beginning greater than 26. Timeskip. Published by Scribble Hub. 26. Timeskip. The Uchiha family had 3 more 12-year-old prodigies who had awakened their Sharingan, but Fugaku couldn't bring himself to smile. This is not what I wanted. How did this happen so fast? I know the Sharingan requires emotional stimulation to awaken, but to this extent? Fugaku pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling that his own Mangekyo Sharingan was on the verge of losing control. Is it too late to set things right now? While he was brooding, a pair of soft hands pressed against his temples, gently massaging them. Are you troubled by something? Makoto asked softly. It's about Gen, Daiki, and Jiro. These 3 children are very talented, but... Makoto chuckled softly. Isn't that a good thing? They're much more energetic than before. Is this just a matter of perspective? Fugaku sighed and said, maybe it is a good thing. Of course, it's a good thing. Minato beamed. Recently, Guy, General, Daiki, and Jiro had completed over a dozen D-rank missions, ranging from catching cats and dogs to weeding, farming, and even handling heavy lifting. Clients couldn't praise them enough, especially for physical tasks. After each enthusiastic shout of youth, they outperformed expectations. Hiring such diligent ninjas is worth every penny. Moreover, these missions have indirectly helped many residents. Knowing that these 3 children are from the Uchiha clan has gradually improved the clan's reputation. People are no longer excessively fearful when they see the police force. Under Fugaku's leadership, the police force's law enforcement attitude has also been changing. Only a few old and stubborn members of the Uchiha still try to cause trouble, but they are manageable and can't stir up much trouble. Minato enjoyed sharing Gen, Daiki, and Jiro's amusing stories at dinner, smiling as he did so. Naruto realized these green-clad Uchiha kids were a result of his father's cooperation with Sasuke's father. Naruto couldn't quite evaluate it, but he thought Sasuke's family might be saved. That evening, Naruto lay on his bed, entered his sealed space, and finished a chapter of Asterisk Berserk to the Fox Spirit. The relationship between him and Kurama had improved significantly. Now Naruto could come in, sit in front of Kurama, talk, and even pat Kurama's paws when he was happy. Every time Naruto sang, Kurama would give a grudging compliment. Rat, stop. Oh, Naruto hurriedly exited the space. Kurama glared at him. The stories Naruto told were tolerable for killing boredom, but he often spoke in strange languages Kurama didn't understand, which frustrated the fox. Naruto had grown accustomed to interacting with Kurama. When he told stories, it was like coaxing a child. When he sang, it was like annoying a pet cat. Big Fox, are you still arguing with my mother every day? Naruto knew Kurama could share memories and communicate with Kushina's fox spirit. So what, that detestable woman? Don't speak ill of my mother. Just talk to her like you do with me. Is it so hard to communicate properly? HMPH, do you want to argue too? I don't want to, but you can at least try to be more friendly. Kurama lay down heavily, grumbling to himself. Naruto didn't bother trying to persuade them. Maybe their arguments were just their way of communicating. It was understandable for a woman like his mother and Kurama to argue with each other. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, 2 years passed swiftly. Back then, Kimimaro was a melancholy youth pondering the meaning of life. 5 years later, he had become a warm-hearted young man despite his cold demeanor. His popularity in the class was even more exaggerated than Sasuke's. When Kimimaro smiled, it was like a celebrity charming his fans. Unfortunately, his smiles were mostly reserved for his little brother, Naruto, possibly due to his brotherly protective instincts developed in Konoha. Because of this, Naruto received numerous snacks and gifts meant for Kimimaro from his female classmates, often accompanied by love letters. Naruto never refused them and shared the snacks with his always hungry friend, Choji, who envied Naruto's luck. However, these days were coming to an end, as Kimimaro had graduated. In the 57th year of Konoha, Kimimaro, at 12 years old, graduated at the usual age. In terms of strength, Kimimaro could handle 3 to 5 Irukas. The only thing he lacked was experience. Minato insisted Kimimaro graduate like a regular student, and it proved to be a wise decision. Over 5 years, Kimimaro transformed from a lost weapon of war into a beloved young man. Team assignment, I plan to place Kimimaro in Team 4. At the dinner table, Minato answered Naruto's question with a smile. Team 4, Naruto felt it sounded familiar. It's the current team of Guy, General, Daiki, and Jiro. Oh, on Guy's team, Naruto realized, then asked, but aren't there already 4 members in that team? Kushina and Kimimaro looked at Minato, sharing the same question, while Kakashi continued eating nonchalantly. Even though Kakashi was an adult, he often joined Naruto's family for dinner when he wasn't on a mission. Despite Kushina urging him to find a girlfriend, he hadn't made much progress. Naruto often wondered if his mother should pair Kakashi with Kurenai Yugi, but learned Asuma had recently returned to the village and often spent time with Kurenai. So Naruto brainstormed again. Azuki Yugo seemed like a good match, although she had a childhood sweetheart, Hayate Gecko, who might not survive his illness, so she was a candidate. Enko Mitarashi was another option, though she had a rumored difficult personality. Alternatively, Kakashi could be paired with Terumi Mei from the Hidden Mist village. Finally, as a last resort, Jiraiya could take Kakashi to a village renowned for its eligible women. Back to the topic, Minato explained that in 2 years, he wanted Guy to lead a new team. Although Team 4 was good, it lacked a calm and wise leader. Also, Kimimaro could fill that role after training. Naruto thought his dad's explanation was too polite. To put it bluntly, the 4 of them were all reckless, and they needed someone with brain. The next day, Naruto went to school as usual and found a new student in the class. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapter you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 27. Naruto vs Sasuke 2. Published by Scribble Hub. As soon as Naruto entered the classroom, he saw Kiba showing off Akamaru to everyone. Kiba held a small puppy, no bigger than an adult's palm. The puppy was completely white except for some black fur on the back of its ears, giving it a cute appearance. Naruto approached, feeling an urge to pet Akamaru. He didn't have much hope for petting Kurama, so petting someone else's dog would have to suffice. Kiba, can I pet Akamaru? Naruto asked politely. Do you like dogs too, Naruto? Kiba was thrilled. He was a straightforward person, and anyone who liked dogs was a friend. Naruto nodded. I don't mind, Kiba said nonchalantly, but Akamaru has to agree. Akamaru barked happily and wagged his tail. Without needing further encouragement, Naruto reached out and petted Akamaru, a foolish smile spreading across his face. Sasuke, secretly observing, shuddered. He felt he had seen that smile before but couldn't remember where. Kiba was surprised to see how much Akamaru liked Naruto. I didn't expect Akamaru to like you so much. This is the first time you've met. Naruto thought to himself, my affinity for animals must be strong, maybe because I'm a Jinchuriki. The time spent playing with Akamaru was short. Soon, the children returned to their seats, and Akamaru perched on Kiba's head. Some students were surprised that Kiba wasn't reprimanded for bringing his pet to class. Not everyone understood the ninjutsu of the various clans. For example, during the Chunin exams in the original series, Naruto was amazed at how Kiba brought Akamaru on stage, and he made a fuss about the techniques used by Shino, Ino, and others. It's not surprising that many people don't understand the significance of the ninja dogs of the Inuzuka clan. Of course, Naruto wasn't one of them. Because of Akamaru, Naruto routinely played with the dog every day, gradually getting to know Kiba. Kiba naturally joined Naruto's small circle, adding one more person and one dog to their group. Kiba occasionally brought along a friend with a very low presence, a strange person who always wore a hood and sunglasses, played with bugs, and was often interrupted by Kiba. This kid was Shino Aburame. Since meeting Kiba, Naruto often sighed that the group of 4 from the original series had formed, though they never skipped class. When Naruto returned to his senses, Iruka was engrossed in teaching. Today, the lesson was on camouflage, summarized as an actor. This made sense. As a ninja, acting skills were essential. Otherwise, using the transformation technique and blowing your cover with a few words wouldn't work. This wasn't an action game, it was a life and death situation. Naruto listened attentively, feeling his acting skills improving. In the afternoon, during taijutsu class, Naruto defeated several opponents with ease, eventually facing Sasuke. It was a spectacular taijutsu showdown. Iruka had forbidden Naruto's water jutsu and Sasuke's fire jutsu, as they were too powerful and could accidentally injure the spectators. Yes, both sides had cheerleaders. Most girls supported Sasuke for his looks, while most boys supported Naruto, not wanting Sasuke to hog the spotlight. Naruto wondered why, despite inheriting his father's handsome looks and style, he didn't have many female fans, not that he wanted them. Naruto absently finished the seal of opposition with Sasuke. Seeing Naruto distracted, Sasuke didn't bother to warn him. Sasuke threw 3 kunai, then rushed forward. Naruto dodged the kunai, but as he approached Sasuke, he heard 2 sharp dings behind him. Amidst the gasps of the girls, the kunai Naruto dodged collided midair and flew back toward him. Has Sasuke already learned this trick? Naruto was startled but quickly moved aside. Sasuke anticipated his move and landed a punch on Naruto's chest. Naruto staggered back, rubbing his chest. Impressive. It seems Itachi has been teaching you. Sasuke knew Naruto recognized the technique as Itachi's but didn't respond. Naruto then taught Sasuke a lesson, easily overpowering him. Sasuke wasn't too disappointed. He believed he would win once he awakened his Sharingan. Naruto admired Sasuke's determination, always believing he could win next time. I should not slack off from my training. Sasuke's Shuriken technique gave Naruto an idea. Should he learn it too? It would be amazing to combine it with the Flying Thunder God Jutsu in the future. If he couldn't master it, he could consider learning the Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. Minato had used a similar technique in battle, creating a field of kunai. Maybe Naruto could do the same. Speaking of Shadow Clone Jutsu, it was time to learn it. It was one of the most frequently used jutsu in the entire series. He would ask about it tonight. Shadow Clone? At the dinner table, Minato looked at Naruto in surprise. Why do you want to learn that? It's practical for reconnaissance, sensing, and combining with other jutsu. It can also be used for learning and training. The multi-Shadow Clone technique can even be used for crowd tactics. Naruto imagined creating 1,000 clones in the future, each contributing to his strength and strategy. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapter you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 28. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Published by Scribble Hub. When the Shadow Clone Jutsu is cancelled, it indeed returns both memory and experience to the user, Minato explained solemnly to Naruto. While it can double the effects of certain exercises, it also brings back the feeling of exhaustion. It must not be used indiscriminately. And the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu is a forbidden jutsu, Kushina added. It consumes a tremendous amount of chakra. If you use it recklessly, you could seriously harm yourself. Despite these warnings, Naruto eagerly received the training method for the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Minato and Kushina emphasized the side effects and cautioned him against its indiscriminate use. Naruto, though aware of these dangers, remained captivated by the Shadow Clone Jutsu. As a child, he dreamt of creating clones like the older Naruto, and now, inspired by the stories of the ninja world, he yearned to master this jutsu. The idea of having one clone play games while another did homework seemed perfect to him. Excitedly, Naruto studied the instructions and attempted the jutsu in front of his family. Shadow Clone Jutsu, he declared, forming the hand seals. However, nothing happened. Scratching his head in confusion, Naruto tried again, focusing his chakra more intently. Shadow Clone Jutsu. With a puff of smoke, an identical copy of Naruto appeared beside him. The clone turned to face him and saluted. Reporting for duty, Uzumaki Naruto 001. Naruto stared in surprise. Kushina and Minato exchanged amused glances. Minato chuckled. Well, the name is fitting. A shadow clone is indeed a one-off. It's impressive that you were successful in creating a clone on just your second attempt. Naruto curiously circled the clone, feeling a mix of excitement and wonder, akin to his first visit to the zoo. He reached out to poke the clone, finding the touch indistinguishable from his own body. The clone, sharing Naruto's curiosity, mirrored his actions, poking and prodding as if confirming its existence. When Naruto's prodding became excessive, the clone snapped. Hey, that's enough. Is it that fun to poke yourself? It's indecent. Naruto froze, embarrassed. With so many eyes on him, he quickly dispelled the clone. Instantly, the memories returned to him, and he felt a wave of embarrassment wash over him. Experiencing the events from the clone's perspective was disorienting, but Naruto knew he needed more practice to adapt to the dual viewpoints. Later that night, Naruto had a bold idea. Creating another clone, he faced it and tried to communicate with the entity sealed within him. Big Fox, they called in unison. Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, raised an eyebrow. What are you up to now? I want to see if you can control this clone, Naruto proposed. Why would I do that? Naruto grinned mischievously. Just for fun, you can come out for a bit. The clone transformed into a miniature version of Kurama, standing only half of Naruto's height. Naruto patted the tiny fox's head. Want to come out for a walk? You can use this clone. Kurama, intrigued by the offer, decided to try. He manipulated the clone through the gap in the seal left by Minato. An aura of power emanated from the tiny fox, imbuing it with Kurama's majesty. As Kurama flicked his tail, Kushina burst through the wall from the adjacent room, red hair blazing and exuding the aura of a fierce ninja. Kurama, what are you doing? She shouted. Naruto tried to intervene, but Kushina's chakra chain shot towards the miniature fox, instantly dispelling it. Naruto clutched his stomach, feeling the clone's pain in his memories, though his body remained unharmed. The mental sensation was disconcerting. Minato entered the room, assessing the situation. Kimimaro followed, looking puzzled at the broken wall. After calming down, Naruto explained everything to his parents. Kushina had sensed Kurama's chakra and feared the worst, leading to her dramatic entrance. Despite the misunderstanding, she simply hugged Naruto and began cleaning up the debris. Minato ruffled Naruto's hair. It's okay, Naruto. Your mother was just worried about you. You were a bit reckless this time. Naruto nodded, realizing he should have warned them. Are you and Kurama friends? Minato asked. In the sealed space, Kurama's ears twitched. Naruto thought for a moment. I think so. Kurama remained silent, but Naruto interpreted his silence as agreement. Can he borrow my clone again? Naruto asked. Minato considered it. Yes, but tell him not to harm anyone, stay in human form, and avoid causing trouble. Also, don't maintain the clone for too long. Naruto agreed eagerly, confident Kurama would understand. With the family back to normal, Naruto went to bed, bidding Kurama good night. As Naruto's consciousness faded, Kurama whispered, that's it. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapter you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. Naruto, The New Beginning Greater Than 29, Growth. Published by Scribble Hub. 29, Growth. The information Kimimaro received that evening was overwhelming, making it hard for him to calm down. He never expected such a powerful monster to reside within Naruto. Kimimaro clenched his fists. Starting tomorrow, he resolved to intensify his training, aiming to match the energy of his three teammates. He needed to grow stronger quickly. Whether it was the Nine Tails or any other threat, he would never allow anything to harm his family. The next day, life returned to its usual rhythm. Naruto attended class, while he sent a clone, controlled by Kurama, to explore the village. Disguised with the transformation jutsu to avoid drawing attention, Kurama wandered the streets, mindful of Naruto's well-known presence in Konoha. In the afternoon, Naruto had an idea and asked the Nine Tails clone to buy snacks. Initially disdainful of human food, Kurama was swayed by Naruto's playful threat. Try it, or I'll dismiss the clone. Soon, Kurama found himself enjoying the food. It turned out this fox was a hidden foodie. He sampled fruits, meatballs, grilled meat, and more, as if discovering a new world. His favorites were grilled meat and grapes, which he ate without spitting out the skins. Once the money was spent, Kurama had Naruto release the clone, returning to the sealed space to sleep. Before drifting off, he set a small goal, to taste all the food in Konoha. Unbeknownst to Naruto, Kurama reflected on his past. What was I thinking, wanting to destroy such a place? It's all Uchiha Madara's fault. Time passed, and nearly 3 years later, Naruto's class was nearing graduation. According to Kimimaro, Guy left Team 4 last year. Naruto imagined the scene, the 4 green jumpsuit wearing members hugging and crying, while Kimimaro stood awkwardly to the side, hearing slogans about the youthful world. The image was both amusing and heartwarming. Naturally, Kimimaro became the brain of Team 4, although his strength was nothing to scoff at. Since the Nine Tails incident, Kimimaro had trained diligently, even learning some of the 8 Gates technique from Guy. Currently, Team 4 is among the strongest in Konoha. Kimimaro's Shikatsumiku, combined with the 8 Gates, and his teammates Sharingan, enhanced by their own 8 Gates training, made them formidable. These 3 peculiar Uchiha members, despite their clan's traditional focus on fire ninjutsu, dedicated themselves to taijutsu, causing Fugaku some concern. Guy had moved on to train a new team, Neji, Tenten, and Rock Lee. Naruto was curious whether Neji's character had changed over the years, especially after his father's death. Hanada had become more outgoing, no longer stuttering when speaking to Naruto and excelling in taijutsu. She is the strongest girl in the class. Sakura and Ino continued their rivalry. After Naruto jokingly said, Sasuke likes strong girls, the class's fangirls threw themselves into training with renewed determination. Naruto was puzzled by Sakura's ability to keep pace with Ino despite her civilian background, speculating that she might have hidden talent. Kiba had recently boasted about learning animal ninjutsu, claiming newfound strength. Akamaru barked in agreement, but Naruto remained skeptical, waiting to see the results. Shikamaru and Choji had diligently studied their family's secret techniques, feeling the pressure from Naruto and Sasuke's progress. Even the typically lazy Shikamaru didn't want to be left behind by his friends. Sasuke had advanced significantly, mastering shuriken techniques and several fire jutsu. Recently, he had also been learning genjutsu and body flicker techniques from Itachi and Shisui. Naruto had made great strides as well. His knowledge of sealing techniques had advanced to the point where he is close to learning the Flying Thunder God Jutsu. Also, his chakra reserves increased significantly, allowing him to use the multi-shadow clone jutsu effectively, and to wield the adamantine sealing chains in combat, making even the Nine Tails wary. Kurama, feeling indebted for all the food Naruto had provided, also agreed to let Naruto use his chakra to offset the debt, giving Naruto plenty of pocket money in the process. Naruto had been learning water jutsu from Kushina, though his techniques were not as powerful as hers. Kushina proudly claimed this was natural since she was his mother, while Minato explained that Naruto's growing body limited the power of his jutsu. Naruto, however, suspected Minato was just trying to console him. Despite these challenges, Naruto's water jutsu was already stronger than that of an average ninja. His fire jutsu, which countered Sasuke's due to its elemental advantage, was also impressive. Compared to his portrayal in the original series, this Sasuke was an enhanced version, thanks to the guidance of his brother and cousin. 3 years of growth had brought many changes. Now, Naruto's primary focus is on graduating. On the day of the graduation exam, the test covered multiple subjects, including transformation, clones, and shuriken throwing, in accordance with Minato's rigorous standards. Naruto passed with flying colors. As he received his forehead protector, he bowed deeply to Iruka. Thank you, Iruka-sensei. Iruka, taken aback, waved his hands modestly. It's nothing. Despite not being the strongest, Iruka was a dedicated teacher who always cared for his students. Naruto respected him deeply. One thing that puzzled Naruto was the absence of Mizuki, who had been the first villain in the original series. Mizuki, Minato's expression grew serious. He attempted to kill an injured comrade during a mission to escape the enemy's pursuit. Fortunately, Team 4 intercepted him. Mizuki's actions were reprehensible, and he is now in prison. Naruto felt some sympathy for Mizuki, who had crossed paths with the wrong team. But overall, things had turned out for the best. Naruto's journey as a ninja was about to begin. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapter you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 30. New Jonin Sensei. Published by Scribble Hub. The second day after receiving their forehead guards, the graduates returned to their classrooms one after another. Today, the team arrangements would be announced. A group of Konoha genin excitedly discussed who they would be paired with, and the girls, led by Sakura and Ino, had already started quarreling over who would be with Sasuke. Hinata, affected by the excitement, quietly asked, "Who does Naruto-kun want to be with?" Naruto saw an opportunity to boast. He cleared his throat. "It doesn't matter what I think, it's mostly already decided." Hinata was slightly disappointed but continued to listen quietly. For example, Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji will form the Ino-Shika-Cho trio, and they should be in the same class. Hinata nodded. She had heard of the Ino-Shika-Cho formation in Konoha. Naruto continued, "Hinata, you'll probably be on a special reconnaissance team with Kiba and Shino. As for me, I'll likely form team with Sasuke." Naruto-kun is amazing. Although Hinata was disappointed, she still praised Naruto. Shikamaru, lying on the table in the front row, thought to himself that while Naruto's analysis made sense, it felt like the fourth Hokage had tipped him off in advance. Sasuke, who had been eavesdropping, was thrilled. He and Naruto would make a great team. He didn't care who the third member would be with his and Naruto's strength. They could complete any mission, or was it his arrogance? After a while, Iruka walked in and began to speak. "From today onwards, you are all ninjas. But remember, you're just genin. Many challenges await you in the future." Iruka spoke earnestly and emotionally. He had watched these children grow up, and now they were finally embarking on the path of ninjas, facing various dangers and tests ahead. Iruka felt a mix of pride and sadness as he looked at the familiar faces, whether serious or distracted. Finally, Iruka read the class list. After a bunch of names were called. Team 7, Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha. Yes, Sakura was ecstatic, turning to show a victory sign to Ino, who clenched her fists in frustration. Team 8, Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame. Despite Naruto's spoilers, Hinata still felt a pang of disappointment. Team 10, Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi. Ino looked at Shikamaru, who was still lying on the table, and Choji, who was snacking, feeling disheartened. Why did it have to be them? After the class divisions, the Jonin came in one by one to lead their teams. When only Team 10 remained, Asuma entered, cigarette in mouth, and said coolly, "Team 10, follow me." Ino looked at Asuma, then at Shikamaru and Choji, feeling despair. A smoker, a slacker, and a glutton, how unlucky. The little girl seemed to wear a mask of pain. A few minutes later, an unexpected person entered. "Mom?" Naruto jumped up in shock. What was going on? No one had told him about this. And Kushina? Sasuke was equally shocked. Since recognizing Kushina as his teacher, he had been put through many challenges. Was she going to be their Jonin-sensei? The other students were surprised too. Naruto's mother? Wasn't she the wife of the fourth Hokage? And Sasuke's teacher? "Hey, Naruto, Sasuke." Kushina greeted them. Naruto finally regained his senses and asked, "Mom, are you going to be our sensei?" "I wanted to, but Minato didn't agree," Kushina said, somewhat annoyed. He said he already decided who would take you. Sasuke breathed a sigh of relief, only to be caught in a headlock by Kushina. "Little Sasuke doesn't seem to want me as your Jonin," Kushina said, drilling her fist into Sasuke's head. No, I'm just disappointed," Sasuke quickly corrected, knowing better than to argue with Kushina. Kushina let go of Sasuke and waved, "Teammate, follow me." The three obediently followed her. Akamaru whimpered, sensing future difficulties, while Shino pushed up his sunglasses, remaining stoic. Hinata's mind was racing. Naruto's mother, meeting the parents. Her face turned as red as Kushina's hair. Naruto pieced things together. In the original story, Team 8 was led by Kurenai Yuhi, but she was still a new Jonin, and not qualified to lead the heirs of the Hyuga, Inuzuka, and Aburame clans. As the son of the third Hokage, Asuma was qualified but was destined to lead the Ino-Shika-Cho trio, as the Sarutobi clan witnessed their alliance. So, Kushina leading Team 8 made sense. Only Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were left in the classroom. The three sat in a row. Sakura broke the silence. "Naruto, Sasuke, what just happened?" Sakura's inner self was excited. That red-haired woman was so cool. Naruto replied, "That's my mom, probably the strongest female ninja in Konoha right now." Sasuke nodded, thinking she is the most terrifying woman in Konoha. Then why did you look so surprised?" Sakura asked. "Because no one told me she'd be a Jonin-sensei. It was a shock." Sasuke nodded again, sharing the sentiment. "Who will be our sensei then?" Sakura wondered. "Probably Kakashi." Kakashi? Sakura hadn't heard of him. Kakashi? Sasuke knew him as the copy ninja, possessing the Sharingan, and more laid back than many Uchiha clan members. Naruto began explaining. "Hatake Kakashi, my dad's disciple, became a Jonin at 12, known as the copy ninja. He's very strong, but he likes reading erotic novels, being late, and being lazy. He's like a lazy sloth. It's not nice to talk behind someone's back." Naruto. Kakashi's voice came from behind them. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapter you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. Naruto, The New Beginning Greater Than 31, Test. Published by Scribble Hub. 31, Test. When, Sasuke and Sakura spun around in shock, completely unaware of the presence behind them. A man stood there, a slender figure with silver hair, a forehead protector, and a mask covering his mouth and nose. Only one eye was visible, and he was holding a book, not even glancing up as he spoke. Naruto remained calm. He knew Kakashi too well. Is it a good habit to eavesdrop on other people's conversations? Besides, everything I said is true. Well, most of it, Kakashi replied. Speaking of which, why aren't you late today? Naruto asked, curious. He then teased, did my mom drag you here? Kakashi coughed, snapped his book shut, and tapped Naruto on the head. We'll talk gossip later. For now, the three of you come with me. Naruto had never been to the school rooftop. It was said to be the place where Itachi once fought. Naruto and Sakura sat side by side. Sasuke, ever the cool kid, claimed the best spot, and Naruto scowled at him. Kakashi leaned on the opposite guardrail. As Naruto just introduced, I am Hatake Kakashi, and from now on, I'll be your sensei. Let's start with introductions, beginning with Naruto. Naruto stared at him without saying a word. You come to my house every day for dinner. Do we really need to do this? Kakashi, with his usual deadpan expression, stared back. Despite being familiar with each other through Naruto's mom, they still had to go through the motions. Naruto sighed, deciding to play along. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I like training and getting stronger. I hate people being late. My dream is world peace. Kakashi then turned to Sasuke. Sasuke, hands clasped and chin resting on them, coolly said, Sasuke Uchiha. I like training with my brother. I hate losing to Naruto. My dream is to surpass my brother. Itachi's younger brother, Kakashi thought, remembering the genius who joined the Anbu at 11. My name is Haruno Sakura. My dream is, I hate Ino. Sakura's eyes kept drifting to Sasuke. Naruto and Kakashi understood, but Sasuke found this teammate's behavior strange. Kakashi looked at the three of them. One was his teacher's son, another was the younger brother of a former subordinate, and the last was a girl lost in her own fantasy. Despite this, they still needed to be tested. Minato-sensei wouldn't let Naruto pass without earning it. Tomorrow, we'll start with a survival drill. Sakura questioned, isn't it a mission? Why a drill? We've done many drills in school. This isn't an ordinary exercise. Out of the 27 graduates, only 9 will become genin. The other 18 will be sent back to school. It's a tough test with a failure rate of over 66%. Even you, Naruto, won't get special treatment. That's it. Tomorrow at 5 a.m., meet at the training ground. Bring your ninja tools. Kakashi vanished in the blink of an eye, purposely omitting that they shouldn't eat breakfast. He knew Kushina might beat him if Naruto skipped a meal. What do you think, Naruto? Sasuke asked, and Sakura looked at him expectantly. As the son of the fourth Hokage, Naruto might know more. Naruto looked at Sasuke in disbelief. Are you stealing my lines? Angrily, he said, I think he left too fast. I wanted to invite him to dinner. Sasuke was exasperated. I meant about tomorrow's drill. Yes. If I fail, will I be sent back to school? Sakura asked. Kakashi is a qualified ninja. If he says it's a survival drill, it's serious. I don't know the specifics, but it won't be a simple exercise, Naruto deduced. Sasuke and Sakura nodded. Ordinary survival drills wouldn't have such a high failure rate. Naruto continued. He specifically reminded us to bring ninja tools, which means we might have to fight. We could end up facing Kakashi. Fight against a Jonin? Why not just spar among ourselves? Sakura asked, raising her hand. Naruto and Sasuke turned to look at her, making Sakura feel self-conscious. She lowered her head. Okay, I get it. Naruto felt dumb too, thinking, why didn't I consider sparring among ourselves? Fortunately, they figured it out. If it were an ordinary Jonin, we might have a chance. But Kakashi's on another level. Why? Sasuke wasn't convinced. How strong was Kakashi, really? Naruto explained, Kakashi can at least fight brother Itachi. Do you think the three of us could beat him together? Itachi was 17, already a team leader in the Anbu, skilled in combining genjutsu and shuriken techniques. Even without the Mangekyo Sharingan, he was formidable. If they faced Kakashi, defeat was almost certain. Sasuke was convinced. If Kakashi was at Itachi's level, they had no hope. So Kakashi shouldn't expect us to beat him. As long as we give our best, we should be fine. Sasuke nodded, but Sakura was still worried. If anyone was sent back, it would likely be her. Let's go eat together to celebrate our team assignment and discuss tactics for tomorrow. I don't want to lose too badly, Naruto suggested, still remembering the pain from when Kakashi pinched his face as a child. Okay, Sasuke agreed, used to having meals with friends. Yeah, Sakura forgot her worries, her inner self cheering. Long live, eat with Sasuke. Thank you, Naruto, for this opportunity. Naruto thought while looking at Sakura, is she delusional or just blind? The three of them left the rooftop together. Kakashi, secretly watching, was satisfied. The team dynamics seemed good, which was what he valued most. Strength was secondary. As expected of Sensei's son, Kakashi thought of Minato and his long-deceased teammates as he walked towards the memorial monument. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapter you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 32. Kakashi vs Team 7-1. Published by Scribble Hub. In the evening, when Naruto returned home, Kushina pulled him aside and asked mysteriously, Naruto, do you know Shino? Shino? Is he okay? What's wrong? Kushina replied with frustration, Shino is such an odd child. If he's not careful, he'll get left behind. Naruto chuckled. Shino has a really low profile. My classmates often forget about him at gatherings. Kiba's had to take him along a few times. Why doesn't Kiba forget him? Kushina asked. I don't know. Maybe he finds him by his smell? Naruto guessed. Kushina raised a finger to her chin thoughtfully. Do I need to use perception ninjutsu to make sure Shino's around before I say anything important in the future? Naruto smirked. It's not impossible. Anyway, our family doesn't lack chakra. Then he added, but it's not that bad. Once you get used to him, you'll start to sense his presence. Early morning, Naruto left home with a sandwich in his mouth and arrived at the meeting point right on time at 5 o'clock. It is the training ground with 3 wooden logs in the center. Although he knew Kakashi might be late, Naruto didn't dare to be. After all, Kakashi was their sensei, and when sensei orders a 5 o'clock gathering, you show up at 5. It's a basic rule for ninjas. Sasuke and Sakura had also arrived. They greeted each other and waited. 10 minutes later, Naruto walked over to where Sasuke and Sakura were chatting and said, looks like he's going to be late again. Why don't we prepare? Naruto pulled out steel wire, kunai, and other tools from his ninja kit. Sasuke and Sakura agreed, and with that, 3 of them started setting up traps around the training ground. They rigged it with all sorts of tripwires. Kakashi, who had been observing from a tree, smiled approvingly. Not bad, they're working together to set traps. But when Naruto took out a stack of explosive tags, Kakashi broke into a cold sweat. No way, does this kid want to blow up the training ground and kill me? Naruto, however, decided against it and put the explosive tags away. After all, Kakashi wasn't his enemy. The 3 genin continued working for a couple of hours. By the time they were done, the practice field was covered in traps, with barely any space left to stand. Kakashi, still hiding, grinned slyly and suddenly used the body flicker technique to appear before them. Sakura gasped, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto blared, pretending to be upset. You're late. Kakashi tried to explain, I ran into a black cat on my way, so. Naruto thought to himself, Jiraiya sure taught you well in the art of spying. Seeing the 3 of them silently glaring at him, Kakashi cleared his throat. Alright, let's start the test. The 3 instantly perked up. Then Kakashi added with a smile, but first, dismantle all the traps you've set up. We'll move to another training ground. Naruto, huh? Sasuke, huh? Sakura, huh? Hurry up, the exercise ends at noon, and there are only 2 hours left. Yes, Tilda, 3. The 3 of them gritted their teeth as they disarmed the traps they had painstakingly set up. Reluctantly, they followed Kakashi to a new training ground, feeling like they were shrouded in dark energy. I'll explain the test rules, Kakashi said, pulling out 2 bells. Your goal is to grab these 2 bells from me before noon. Anyone who doesn't get a bell fails the test. Sakura frowned, then why are there only 2 bells? Kakashi answered seriously, because only 2 of you can pass. Those who fail will be sent back to the academy. You can use ninja tools, and unless you're ready to kill me, you won't get the bells. Sakura's heart sank. Is this a ploy to eliminate me? I finally graduated and got assigned to the same team as Sasuke. This should have been a happy moment, but why does it feel like this? Naruto remarked casually, that's harsh, playing mind games with us. It's a psychological tactic. Stay strong, Sakura, don't hold back for Sasuke-kun. Sakura steeled herself. Who knows? Kakashi's tone shifted as he announced, the test begins now. In an instant, Naruto and Sasuke positioned themselves in front of Sakura, who drew her kunai defensively. Naruto formed a hand seal, multi-shadow clone jutsu. He created shadow clones with a one-handed seal, forming a cross with his left hand's index and middle fingers. Uzumaki Naruto, join in, X20. 20 clones shouted in unison, creating an imposing atmosphere. Naruto smacked his forehead. Enough already, can't you see the situation? Attack him. Oh, shadow clones? Kakashi was surprised. With this many, does this kid have an abnormal amount of chakra? As expected of the sensei's son. Kakashi quickly punched a clone, making it disappear. As the first clone vanished, the second one shouted, get him, brothers. The remaining 9 clones charged at Kakashi, full of righteous indignation, only to be swiftly taken out one by one. Meanwhile, 10 other clones stood back, preparing for an attack. Water release, Water Dragon Jutsu, 3rd Hokage, Kushina's effortless teaching edition, *10. 10 massive water dragons rose in front of the clones, diving down from the sky, heading straight for Kakashi, covering nearly 20 meters around him. Sakura stared at the spectacle in amazement. She knew Naruto was good at water style, but this was on another level. She glanced at Sasuke. If Naruto is this strong, then Sasuke-kun, who's supposed to be on par with him, must have an equally powerful fire release, right? Even Sasuke was taken aback. I've never seen shadow clones combined with a water dragon bullet to flood the battlefield. Even if this guy has insane chakra levels, there has to be a limit. Kakashi's reaction was more genuine. After taking down the last clone, he widened his eyes at the sight of the 10 water dragons, blocking almost all hiding spots. He resisted the urge to curse. You call this a water release? Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 33. Kakashi vs Team 7-2. Published by Scribble Hub. 10 water dragons roared down and smashed into the ground, causing waves to splash around and gradually spread to the feet of the clones. Kakashi had already vanished from his spot. The 10 Narutos and the Sakura clone in the front row immediately started moving. The 3 Sakura clones stood back to back in the center while the 10 Narutos formed a circle to guard the surroundings. Suddenly, a hand emerged from the ground at Sakura's feet, pulling her down until only her head was exposed. Kakashi appeared, hearing Sakura shout, Sasuke, but when she spoke, it was Naruto's voice, and he flashed Kakashi a big smile before turning into smoke and dissipating. Sasuke and Naruto immediately charged at Kakashi, trying to disrupt his movements. The 10 surrounding Narutos turned, and one of them transformed back into Sasuke, quickly forming a seal. Sasuke's cheeks puffed up as he shouted, Fire style, Great Fireball Jutsu. A shadow clone? Kakashi was surprised. Did he swap out Sakura with a transformation technique while I was distracted by the water dragons? How did he know my target was Sakura? No, as long as the 3 people standing together are shadow clones, the outcome will be the same no matter which one I attack. Kakashi quickly figured out Naruto's and Sasuke's strategy. His hands formed seals at lightning speed. Earth release, earth wall. Kakashi clapped his hands on the ground, and a 4 to 5 meter high earth wall rose, blocking the oncoming fireball. The dog's head carved into the wall was scorched black. Naruto seized the opportunity to form seals, and a large amount of water spurted out of his mouth. Water style, water bullet. Sakura, who was standing next to Naruto, released her transformation and threw 6 shuriken, sealing off Kakashi's left and right escape routes. At the same time, Naruto released a shadow clone, which then dissipated. The clone on the other side of the earth wall received the message and immediately signaled Sasuke. Kakashi ran up the dirt wall, but when he looked up, he saw 2 kunai shooting straight down from above. It was Sasuke's shuriken throwing technique. Kakashi deflected the attack with his kunai and continued running to the top of the dirt wall, looking down at the 3 of them. The kunai hadn't made an impact. Sakura's 6 shuriken were embedded in the earth wall. Naruto's water bullet hit the wall and flowed down, briefly raising the water level. Sasuke had already bypassed the earth wall and joined Naruto. They had planned that the 3 of them should regroup as much as possible. Otherwise, they would be easy targets. Kakashi clapped his hands atop the earthen wall and said, this is a very impressive team effort. First, Naruto's 10 shadow clones were used as a feint to distract me. Then, 10 shadow clones combined to use water dragon bullets. When I lost visual contact, you swapped the real body with the shadow clones using a transformation technique, making the clones the bait. After I attacked, you flanked me on both sides. Naruto and Sakura blocked my retreat to the left and right, continuing to harass me with shadow clones. You've used the memory transmitting ability of shadow clones very cleverly to guide Sasuke's attack from my blind spot. I'm impressed, but Naruto, your chakra must be nearly exhausted by now, right? Maybe it's time to admit defeat? The chakra cost was indeed significant. With 20 shadow clones, 10 water dragons in a waterless environment, and a water bullet, it's been draining. The transformation technique can be ignored. Naruto cooperated by releasing several shadow clones within Kakashi's field of vision. He panted and said, it's been taxing, but have you wondered why the 3 of us are just standing here, listening to you? Kakashi suddenly rolled off the dirt wall, his eyes narrowing at the sight of a golden chain on the wall, still quivering with energy. Finished? Naruto's voice reached Kakashi as he leapt away from the wall, leaving him with a lingering sense of fear. Where did you learn that? Kakashi followed the chain with his eyes, noticing it stretched from behind Naruto, hanging down against his thighs, concealed by the shallow water on the ground, and quietly wrapped around the earth wall. So the water bullet was used for this. I remember this technique isn't typically used like this, Kakashi muttered, stunned by the versatility of the adamantine sealing chains, known for binding even-tailed beasts. How did her son use this technique so creatively? Are you trying to kill me? The golden chains dissipated into fragments as Naruto started gasping. Nonsense, if I had my mother's full strength, I'd summon 4 chains directly to your face, but I'm not wasting that kind of energy on you. Seeing Naruto was exhausted, Sasuke pulled out a kunai to guard Naruto's right side, while Sakura moved to cover his left. Kakashi observed their coordination with satisfaction. Well, you're showing a good application of ninjutsu as ninjas, but let me teach you another lesson in ninja tactics, illusion. Break. Naruto was suddenly disoriented, but then he felt a huge tail tap him lightly. He snapped back to reality. Thanks, Big Fox. Peeved, you fell for such a basic illusion? Pathetic, Kurama mocked. Naruto didn't argue, opening his eyes to see that Sakura had already formed a seal and released herself from the illusion. Great, Sakura, this illusion's level is pretty decent. Just as Naruto was about to help Sasuke break free, he saw Sasuke's eyes suddenly widen and turn red, with a single tomo spinning slowly in each eye. Naruto was stunned. Sasuke, you've awakened your Sharingan, at the perfect moment. Kakashi was equally shocked. Could it be that Itachi's younger brother is also a genius? Sasuke felt the change, looked at his hands, clenched his fists, and smirked. With this power, I should be able to defeat Naruto. Naruto was taken aback. I see you as a brother, and your first thought after awakening your Sharingan is to beat me? Sakura was overwhelmed by Sasuke's smile, her eyes practically turning into hearts. So cool, so cool, so cool. Fortunately, Kakashi remained focused on the exercise. He raised an eyebrow and said, so, you've awakened the Sharingan? Well, I have one too. Let's see if you, as a Uchiha, can match up to me, an outsider. Stop looking down on me. Sasuke couldn't bear the insult and charged forward, his eyes blazing red. It's beyond unfair to push kids to awaken their Sharingan just to play mind games. Naruto had no choice but to rush in and grab Sakura, using her as cover. Kakashi felt no shame and continued, besides ninjutsu and illusions, there's also. Kakashi disappeared in an instant, reappearing to kick Sasuke in the chest, finishing his sentence with taijutsu. Naruto caught Sasuke as he was sent flying backwards, pulling him to safety. Sakura seized the moment and threw her kunai, trying to buy time for Naruto and Sasuke to adjust their positions. Just now, she hadn't seen Kakashi's movements at all. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 34. Kakashi vs Team 7-3. Published by Scribble Hub. Thank you, Artful Santos, for becoming a member on Patreon. Shout out to you. Enjoy. Kakashi ignored Naruto and Sasuke, then raced to Sakura, who was standing behind him. Naruto saw this and turned Sasuke around, throwing him at Kakashi. Secret technique, Sasuke toss. Sasuke adjusted his posture midair and kicked Kakashi in the lower back. Kakashi effortlessly grabbed Sasuke's leg and pushed him to the ground, just in time for Naruto's attack. Leaf whirlwind. But Kakashi was too familiar with this maneuver. He easily caught Naruto's leg and slammed him against Sasuke. The two lay neatly together on the ground. It all happened so quickly that Sakura was still in a defensive stance when Kakashi appeared behind her, his hand gently but firmly gripping her neck. As Naruto and Sasuke struggled to get up, Kakashi suddenly chuckled. He noticed Sakura's hand discreetly reaching for the bell tied around his waist. So, you remembered the mission was to get the bell after all, he said with a smirk. Before Naruto and Sasuke could react, Kakashi released Sakura and swiftly threw a kunai behind him, dispelling a sneaky shadow clone. When Kakashi earlier said Naruto lacked chakra, Naruto had dispersed several clones in front of him while secretly keeping one in reserve. That's enough, Kakashi said, raising a hand to signal a stop. He adjusted his headband to cover his Sharingan. The purpose of this test has been achieved. He had seen the teamwork of the three genin and their unyielding determination to complete the mission. Though none of you got the bell, you made me take this seriously, Kakashi admitted. He removed the bells and handed them to Sakura, continuing, now that you've achieved your goal, tell me how you plan to distribute these two bells. Sakura took the bells in a daze. At first, she was ecstatic, imagining herself on missions with Sasuke. But then she looked at Naruto, realizing that from strategy to combat, he has been the driving force. Her contribution felt small in comparison. Sasuke frowned. Naruto, on the other hand, was puzzled. Kakashi's test seemed complete, with their teamwork shining through, so why was there still an issue with the bells? Everyone was silent for a moment. Then, Sakura walked over to Naruto and Sasuke, holding out the bells with both hands. These should belong to you. Biting her lip, she added, I'm the weakest, and I didn't help much in the fight. But even if it was just for 2 days, I was really happy to be part of this team with you guys. Next time. Naruto smiled at Sakura's gesture and didn't take the bell. I'm happy to be on this team with you too. What do you think, Sasuke? Sasuke looked up at Kakashi. So, as long as we get the bell, we pass, right? Kakashi nodded. Yes, what are you planning? Sasuke took the bells from Sakura, tossed one to Naruto, and then sliced the remaining bell in half with his kunai. He handed one half to Sakura, saying casually, this is enough. Sakura was so moved that she almost burst into tears. Sasuke tilde? She hugged a small ball with Sasuke's name on it and mentally screamed, I have to make him mine. You clever little bastard, Naruto said with a grin. He also cut his bell in half and tossed one half to Kakashi. Indeed, this is enough. Kakashi held the half bell, smiling even more brightly than Naruto. All of you pass. Awesome, Sakura cheered. Sasuke gave a small smile. Kakashi-sensei, please take care of us. X3. Please take care of me. To celebrate the official formation of Team 7, Kakashi-sensei will treat us. Naruto said with a mischievous grin, remembering how Kakashi had thrown him earlier. Kakashi sighed, I can't say no to you guys. Let's go. As the three genin laughed behind him, Kakashi looked up at the sky at a 45-degree angle and muttered, I've become a teacher. With a sigh, he pulled out his favorite book with a yellow cover from his ninja pouch. At the barbecue restaurant, Naruto, who rarely managed to outwit Kakashi, rubbed his full stomach and hiccuped contentedly. He wasn't the best at fighting on an empty stomach. Next time, I'll bring Choji along, Naruto thought, glancing at Kakashi, who looked like he was holding back tears. The wealth Kakashi has accumulated over the years, bringing Hinata along wouldn't be too much, would it? Choji and Hinata will decrease Kakashi's wealth significantly. Sakura and Sasuke sat side by side, their faces glowing with happiness. Sasuke seemed a bit unsure of what to do, placing his chopsticks down after his last bite. Noticing that everyone had finished eating, Kakashi snapped his book shut and waited for the three of them to look at him before he said, Team 7's first mission starts tomorrow. I've got something to take care of, so you're dismissed. Kakashi bolted out of the restaurant, leaving the three genin staring at each other. Thankfully, he had at least paid the bill before leaving. Naruto asked, got any plans for the afternoon, Sasuke? Training. Let's train together, then. All right. Sakura looked back and forth between them, asking, is your usual communication always this, brief? Is this how close friends talk? She couldn't help but think of Ino and quickly shook her head. Why am I thinking of that loudmouth pig? Pretty much, Naruto replied. When you're familiar with someone, conversations are casual. If there's more to say, you say it. If not, you keep it short. Sakura, want to join us? Sure. Sakura agreed eagerly, excited at the prospect of training with Sasuke. The three of them headed for the training ground, where they had set traps earlier. It was a large field with 3 wooden posts on one side and a little river on the other, both surrounded by trees, an ideal training location. Naruto invited Sakura along for more than just company. Since they were going to be a team, it made sense to assist her in developing her skills sooner rather than later. Sakura will likely follow Tsunade's route in the future, therefore, having a qualified medical ninja on the team was essential. I'll learn the Rasengan next. My father left me the training approach. You can participate if you're interested, but it's difficult for individuals with little chakra. Considering Minato's nature, he'd probably be eager to teach anyone with potential, even passing down techniques like the Rasengan and Flying Thunder God. After all, he did teach the Flying Thunder God to Genma's team for their Flying Thunder formation. Sasuke and Sakura considered Naruto's impressive chakra reserves and compared them to their own. They both shook their heads, realizing they couldn't afford to learn such a technique. All right, Naruto said, understanding their decision. So, what are you planning to practice next? Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. Naruto, The New Beginning Greater Than 35, Rasengan. Published by Scribble Hub. 35, Rasengan. Shisui taught me the body flicker jutsu, but I'm still not very skilled at it. I also need to get more familiar with the Sharingan, Sasuke said, touching his eyes. A smile crept across his face as he thought, when I tell Itachi about this, he'll be proud of me. Sakura remained silent, unsure of what she should be practicing. All she knew was that she'd get to train alongside Sasuke, and that was enough for her. Naruto, however, wasn't surprised by her reaction. At 12 years old, Sakura lacked a sense of urgency. Unlike those from prominent clans, her family didn't push her to become stronger. Sakura's biggest dream was to someday change her last name to Uchiha rather than focusing on becoming a stronger ninja. Naruto knew that even if he left her alone, Sakura would eventually realize what she needed to do, especially when the Chunin exams came around, and she started feeling like a burden to the team. But he wasn't about to let that happen. After all, she was his teammate and could be strong enough to protect herself, not a burden. If you don't have a specific goal, let's start with chakra control. Have you practiced tree climbing and water walking? Naruto asked. Sakura, ever the diligent student, questioned, what does climbing trees have to do with chakra control? And what's water walking? Alright then, I'll teach you how to climb trees. Once you've got that down, Sasuke can teach you how to walk on water, Naruto replied. Yeah, Sakura was energized and determined to impress Sasuke. Sasuke had no objections. He and Naruto had learned tree climbing and water walking before they graduated, so teaching it to their teammate wasn't a problem. The tree climbing I'm talking about isn't the usual kind. You have to gather chakra on the soles of your feet to stick to the tree, Naruto explained. As he spoke, he casually walked up the tree trunk and hung upside down from a branch as a demonstration, shocking Sakura. Sakura quickly began trying it herself. Within 30 seconds, she was walking up a 10-meter high tree as if it were flat ground. She smiled. This is easier than I thought. Sasuke was taken aback. The teammate he had always considered a burden had such strong chakra control. It had taken him days to learn what she mastered in moments, maybe because she didn't have large chakra reserves. Impressive. Naruto gave her a thumbs up. As expected of you, Sakura-chan. I'll leave the water walking to you, Sasuke. Naruto waved as he walked away. Oh, Sasuke replied nonchalantly. He wasn't one to go back on his word. Sakura felt touched. Naruto was truly a great teammate for helping her become strong. Naruto paid no attention to the interaction between the two and moved to the side to practice the Rasengan. Naturally, he used shadow clones for training. He decided to summon 2 clones, as doing more at once might be overwhelming. Naruto pulled out a scroll and unrolled it, revealing a ball surrounded by intricate seals. He formed a hand sign and slapped the scroll. A dozen water-filled balloons appeared, prepared in advance for training. Naruto picked up a water balloon and gave it a light squeeze, then signaled to his clones. Got it? Got it, the clones replied in unison. The clones were excited. Practicing the Rasengan was way more fun than sparring with Kakashi. Each clone grabbed a water balloon and began focusing on making the water inside rotate. The initial rotation was smooth. The water began to drive the balloon's shape, flattening it. But how do you get the chakra to revolve in numerous directions at the same time? That was the true challenge. The original manga suggested using the other hand to help, but Naruto wasn't interested in shortcuts. He wanted to master the Rasengan single-handedly, especially since he planned to use it as a quick strike technique. Later on, he would learn how to combine it with shadow clones for bigger moves. Naruto envisioned himself outmaneuvering an enemy, pretending to be a frail, long-range fighter, only to surprise them with a Rasengan to the face. But mastering the technique was tough. After an hour of training, Naruto released the 2 clones. As their memories flowed back to him, Naruto felt a slight headache, along with an influx of jumbled thoughts. Couldn't my clones be more reliable? He muttered, rubbing his temples. They had been thinking about random stuff. One wanted to flush the toilet, another was daydreaming about playing with a kitten's ball of yarn, and a third was stuck on the planets. How does that relate to the Rasengan? Though to be fair, the planetary model wasn't entirely unrelated. Naruto imagined the solar system as he worked with the water balloon. When he pictured Halley's Comet and other planetary orbits, the balloon started to bulge in multiple places. That's the feeling, he thought. Naruto released 2 more clones to continue training. Following the idea he just had, he imagined adding more comets. After about half an hour, one of the clones suddenly jumped up, shouting, I did it. The other clone scowled, then grabbed a kunai and stabbed him. You know too much, he declared coldly. Naruto's eyelids twitched. He said nothing. As the clone's memories and experiences returned to him, Naruto found that he and the remaining clone managed to burst their water balloons one after another. But just as he was about to celebrate, his clones gleefully slammed into a tree, yelling, Mother *CKER. I will kill you. When Sasuke finished teaching Sakura water walking and returned, he witnessed Naruto's clone getting destroyed. Sakura looked at Naruto, who was still rubbing his temples, and quietly asked Sasuke, what's wrong with him? He's happy, Sasuke replied uncertainly. Sakura blinked, confused. Happy? Sasuke found it odd as well. Knowing Naruto, his clone had indeed shown signs of joy, but why kill it while it was happy? This guy's mind is getting weirder by the day, Sasuke thought, shaking his head. He watched as Naruto picked up another balloon and continued training. Seeing that Naruto didn't seem suicidal, Sasuke went off to practice the body flicker technique in an open area. Sakura stayed behind, observing Naruto for a while. Finding nothing particularly strange, she happily reviewed her training progress before heading off to join Sasuke, probably to stick close to him. Naruto focused on the balloon in his hand, trying out his earlier method. It was a tough challenge. If the first stage of water balloon training was to practice rotation and maintenance, then the second stage with a rubber ball was about chakra control. By the afternoon, his hand's chakra pathways were sore, with only a bit of energy left. The 3 friends said goodbye to each other and went home. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 36. Jujutsu Kaisen. Published by Scribble Hub. Naruto returned home and trained physically for over an hour, attempting to deplete his energy, but to no avail. He was no longer the child who grew tired after just a few dozen push-ups. Naruto considered adding weights to his workout routine. However, if he strictly adhered to Rock Lee's regimen, he risked injury or worse. He decided to increase the weights gradually and thought he could approach Kimimaro for guidance. After all, Kimimaro worked hard every day with his team 4 friends, so he would probably understand. At dinner, the family of 4 sat around the table, and as usual, Kakashi arrived on time. Naruto kept staring at Kakashi's ninja pouch, making the Jonin visibly uncomfortable. Even with all the courage in the world, Kakashi wouldn't dare take out any of his strange books in Naruto's house. Yet, he often touched his ninja pouch, like someone desperate to check their phone after an hour. Feeling the presence of his food seemed to calm his nerves. Kushina talked about her day in class. She mentioned how Kiba and Akamaru rushed recklessly during a test and ended up getting knocked to the ground by her. She also shared how Shino's insects grossed her out so much that she accidentally punched him in the face, breaking his sunglasses. Kushina also noted that little Hinata, despite being skilled in taijutsu, lacked decisiveness and would need more training. Naruto was concerned whether Akamaru was hurt and asked curiously if Shino's eyes were tiny dots since he had never seen Shino without his sunglasses. Then, he worried whether Hinata would turn out rebellious like in the alternate version of her, the alternate universe where Menma and Naruto Uzumaki fought. Minato asked Kakashi about Naruto's performance that day. Kakashi praised Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. Naruto, however, took the opportunity to complain, saying that Kakashi used his Sharingan to defeat all 3 of them and that, in the end, Kakashi had slammed both him and Sasuke to the ground so hard that Sasuke was nearly in tears from the pain. Feel the pain, Kakashi, Naruto thought with a sadistic smile. Kakashi felt a chill down his spine under Kushina's sharp gaze. Meanwhile, Rokan Sasuke, who was showing off his Sharingan at home, sneezed, rubbed his nose, and went back to enjoying his brother's praises. There was frequent laughter at the dinner table, and Kimimaro, who had been quietly smiling, seemed to eat a bit more lightly. He truly cherished his current family, his father, mother, younger brother, and Kakashi, who felt like an older brother. After dinner, Minato and Kushina once again reminded Kimimaro not to overexert himself in training, and everyone dispersed. Later that evening, Naruto went to his usual meeting with Kurama. Big Fox, wasn't it cool when I launched 10 water dragon jutsu today? Ha, those little splashes? The 3rd Hokage could do better while sneezing. Is it that bad? I thought it was enough to give Shukaku a run for his money. Are you thinking of fighting Shukaku? Don't you hold a grudge against him? That's the spirit. Kurama perked up, something rare for the 9 tails. Once you get better at water style, you'll almost be at that woman's level. When the time comes, use my chakra to drench Shukaku in a downpour. Imagining Shukaku's miserable state, Kurama nearly laughed out loud. Ha 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 ha. Oh, and the chain-breaking technique of yours. Give Shukaku a taste of that too. Then, Kurama suddenly stopped and lay down, his once excited tail drooping to the ground. His expression turned melancholic. Naruto sensed that mentioning the adamantine ceiling chains brought up painful memories for Kurama, and he didn't know how to comfort the tailed beast. Fortunately, Kurama's resilient nature kicked in, and he clenched his massive claws into fists, pounding the ground as he roared, just like that. Get stronger, kid. Beat all 8 of those other beasts, and tie them up with that broken chain of yours. There are 9 tailed beasts in the world. If one fox suffers, all should feel the same pain. Hee 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 hee. What had gotten into Kurama? Naruto had no idea, and he didn't dare ask. He figured that bringing up Shukaku wasn't the best idea, as it had ignited the fox's fighting spirit. Maybe he should have talked about peaceful coexistence with the tailed beasts instead. Naruto thought for a moment and then said, tonight, I'll tell you the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. It all begins with a... Kurama, intrigued by the promise of a new story, calmed down. In Jujutsu Kaisen, all living beings emanate energy called cursed energy, which arises from negative emotions that naturally flow throughout the body. Ordinary people cannot control this flow in their bodies. As a result, they continually lose cursed energy, resulting in the birth of curses, a race of spiritual beings whose primary desire is to bring harm to humanity. These curses are shown as gruesome monsters: Onryo, vengeful spirit, Yurei, ghosts, and yokai. The more Kurama listened, the more familiar the tale seemed. This cursed energy, the creation of mystical creatures to bring balance to the world, sounded a lot like the Sage of Six Paths creating the tailed beasts. Was Naruto just making this up to deceive him? But the details seemed too specific. Kurama's moral education had a long road ahead. Early the next morning, Team 7 gathered at the mission hall on time, but Kakashi was only half an hour late this time. Their first mission wasn't the usual cat-catching task but a D-rank emergency mission, to help out at the orphanage. Naruto was curious, is the orphanage short on staff? Shouldn't they hire long-term workers? Hiring ninjas doesn't seem cost-effective. Kakashi, who seemed to know a lot about the orphanage, explained as they walked, the village usually provides subsidies for these kinds of missions. Sensei has been very supportive of the orphanage in recent years. He continued, the orphanage normally has 4 staff members, including the director and her adopted son, so they usually don't need extra help. But one of the teachers suddenly fell ill, and the director with her son had to assist with surgery at Konoha Hospital yesterday, so they're temporarily short-handed. Naruto felt something was off. Sakura raised her hand and asked, why would the orphanage director and her son need to assist in surgery? Doesn't the hospital have enough doctors? They do, Kakashi replied, but this surgery was particularly complicated. The director and her son are highly skilled in medical ninjutsu, even more so than most of the hospital's doctors, so they were asked to help. Naruto found this even stranger. More skilled than the doctors at Konoha Hospital? Who were these people? Did Tsunade secretly adopt someone and place them at the orphanage as the director? Unable to figure it out, he asked, who are these 2 people? Kakashi thought for a moment and replied, their names are Yakushi no no and Yakushi Kabuto. Naruto felt a sense of familiarity with the names. Huh? Kakashi continued, Yakushi no no was once a highly regarded Anbu operative. But after a certain mission, she approached Sensei and said she was tired of the Anbu life and wanted to return to Konoha to run the orphanage. Minato Sensei respected her wishes, and she's been dedicated to the orphanage ever since. When funds were tight, she would help out at Konoha Hospital to earn extra money. Now that the village supports the orphanage, she still volunteers at the hospital from time to time. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 37. No no Yakushi. Published by Scribble Hub. No no Yakushi was once an ace spy under Danzo, famously known as the Aruki no Miko, the wandering nun. Her gentle and kind heart, coupled with her exceptional skills in medical ninjutsu, made it easy for her to infiltrate enemy ranks and gain their trust. However, her kindness became her greatest weakness. She found it increasingly difficult to betray or kill the comrades who placed their trust in her. If she had been Uchiha, the emotional toll might have triggered the awakening of the Mangekyo Sharingan long ago. Danzo was well aware of Nano's character and repeatedly exploited it, threatening the children at her orphanage to coerce her into betraying those who trusted her. This cycle of manipulation continued until Danzo was removed from power, and Minato assumed full control as Hokage. At that point, Nono requested that Minato stop assigning her spy missions. She wished only to devote herself to running the orphanage. Minato, unlike Danzo, respected the personal choices of his ninja. While he might send spies to gather crucial information for the village, he never forced anyone against their will. As a result, Nono was able to continue as the orphanage director, occasionally taking part-time work at the hospital to support the children financially. After hearing Kakashi's explanation, Naruto began to piece together the situation. This was characteristic of his father's leadership release. While Minato was perceived as a powerful and formidable 4th Hokage by outsiders, to the villagers, he was a warm and guiding light. And what about Kabuto Yakushi? Naruto asked, knowing Kabuto to be a cunning and dangerous character, possibly as dangerous as Orochimaru himself. It was essential to understand him fully. Yamato Yakushi, or Kabuto, is an orphan adopted by Director Nono. He was taken in during the last Great Ninja War, having lost his memory due to a head injury. Director Nono later taught him medical ninjutsu, and he proved to be exceptionally talented. His skills now nearly surpass those of the director herself. It seems Kabuto's current motivation is to help the director support the orphanage, with little interest in becoming a full-fledged ninja. Kakashi, ever the professional ninja, thoroughly collected information even for a D-rank mission. Naruto hoped that they would be equally diligent in gathering intelligence for future C-rank missions. There was, after all, a running joke in the ninja world about the absurdity of Team 7's C-rank missions. Sasuke, listening to Kakashi's briefing, found it impressive. As expected of a Jonin, the information was comprehensive. Sakura, on the other hand, fell into deep thought. Learning medical ninjutsu seemed like a good idea. Given the strength of her teammates, she likely wouldn't contribute much in battle, but medical knowledge could be invaluable. Moreover, if Sasuke were to get injured in the future, Sakura clenched her fist with determination. Wouldn't that mean he would rely on her? Meanwhile, Naruto was inwardly lamenting for Orochimaru, who was likely lurking in some dark corner. Orochimaru's 2 strongest subordinates, one was Kimimaro, who had long been brought back as Naruto's brother, and the other was now the determined director of an orphanage. This was essentially severing Orochimaru's right-hand men. Let's keep up the pressure, Naruto thought. The 4 of them had reached their destination while conversing. Naruto looked around and noticed that the orphanage wasn't as run down and shabby as he had imagined. Inside the open gate was a large courtyard resembling a playground. Swings, seesaws, and other play facilities reminded Naruto of an elementary school from his previous life. The children were playing and chasing each other in groups. A person dressed as a nun noticed Team 7 and approached to greet them. Hello, I'm the teacher here. My name is Tsubaki. Are you the ninjas who accepted the mission? Kakashi handed the mission list to Tsubaki and responded, yes, we're Team 7, led by me, Kakashi Hatake. Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke Uchiha. Haruno Sakura. The 3 youngsters introduced themselves in turn. Welcome, Tsubaki said with a smile. There are 31 children here who need your care. Today, they need a literacy class and an arithmetic class. Could you also play some games with them afterwards? No problem, Kakashi replied. Tsubaki gathered the children together and announced, today, we have 4 temporary teachers here to instruct you. They're all very powerful ninjas, so please be on your best behavior, okay? Okay Tilda, the children chorused. Seeing the children obey so readily, Tsubaki turned back to Kakashi and said, I'll handle the meals and cleaning today, so I'll leave the children in your care. With that, Tsubaki left. As soon as the teacher departed, the children became excited and started looking curiously at the 4 members of Team 7. Are you ninjas? Are you strong? Do you know ninjutsu? The children buzzed with excitement, like preschoolers seeing rare animals at the zoo for the first time. So, what do you plan to do next? Kakashi asked, shrugging, and leaving the decision to them. Naruto exchanged a glance with Sasuke, then took a few steps back, creating some distance between them. Sasuke understood immediately and stepped back as well. The two of them began to form hand seals simultaneously. Water release, water bullet jutsu. Fire release, fireball jutsu. Naruto and Sasuke spat out water and fire from their mouths, respectively. The large fireball collided with a massive amount of water, creating a huge plume of white steam. The children watched in awe and screamed with excitement. It's ninjutsu, it's ninjutsu. That's so cool. That brother is so handsome. Sakura's ears twitched as she felt a sense of impending competition. Naruto pulled Sasuke in front of the children and asked with a smile, do you want to see even more powerful ninjutsu? Yes, Tilda, the children shouted eagerly. If you do, then hurry to the classroom. After class, I'll put on a show for you. The children eagerly rushed into the classroom. Naruto turned to Sakura and said, Sakura-chan, I'll leave the teaching to you. I'm not very good at that. No problem, leave it to me, Sakura responded confidently. Then she suddenly realized something and looked at Naruto. Wait, what did you just call me? Naruto looked up at the sky. Ah, it's such a nice day, isn't it, Sasuke? You idiot. Sakura clenched her fists and stormed off to the classroom angrily. Naruto suddenly remembered something and looked at Kakashi. Sensei, why haven't you taken out your weird book today? Aren't you reading it? Kakashi sighed. There are so many kids watching, so I have to be mindful of the influence. Naruto was shocked. Are you the kind of person who would care about that? What kind of image do you have of me? Kakashi asked as he took the book out of his ninja pouch and walked away. You should focus on what to perform next, he added. Come on, Sasuke, let's go see how Sakura is doing with the lesson. Yeah, Sasuke replied quietly. But do we have to put on a show? Why not? It's dumb. Naruto turned to Sasuke with a serious expression. We're ninjas, brother. It's a mission. There's nothing dumb about it. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 39. Sakura's Realization. Published by Scribble Hub. Before Kakashi and the others left, they had a face-to-face meeting with the head of the orphanage, Nono Yakushi, who had just returned from the hospital, and her assistant, Kabuto Yakushi. Both wore the same round-frame glasses, and the smiles on their faces were gentle and peaceful. It seemed that Kabuto genuinely wanted to dedicate himself to the development of the orphanage. For a moment, Naruto silently mourned for Orochimaru, who had now lost Kabuto, his right-hand man. One could only wonder if Orochimaru's future experiments would go as smoothly. Sakura approached Nono Yakushi for a brief chat, and they seemed to get along well. After leaving, the 4 shinobi, Kakashi and his 3 students, headed back to submit their mission report. Kakashi walked ahead, his eyes glued to the book in his hand. Naruto followed with his hands in his pockets, striding along with a bored expression, secretly hoping Kakashi would walk into a telephone pole. Sasuke frowned, his mind consumed with thoughts about what Naruto had said earlier about jutsu. Sakura also seemed lost in thought. Sasuke. After handing in the mission, Kakashi wasted no time and hurried off. According to him, he was eager to see what the next part of the story would bring. Naruto and Sasuke went to the training field to practice as usual, while Sakura said she would borrow a book first and catch up with them later. When Naruto and Sasuke arrived at the training ground, Naruto began practicing with a stack of targets, determined to complete the second stage of his Rasengan training as soon as possible. Naruto created over a dozen shadow clones, each holding a Rasengan. He stared at his clones for several minutes, ensuring nothing seemed out of the ordinary, then took a Rasengan and began to practice. Meanwhile, Sasuke was honing his Shunshin no Jutsu, body flicker jutsu. Shisui's body flicker technique seemed to integrate with shadow clones and genjutsu, making it appear as though each clone wasn't real, when in fact, every one of them was. It was a formidable and bewildering tactic. During the break, Naruto observed Sasuke's practice and came up with an idea to try later. After about half an hour, Sakura returned with a large book. Naruto asked curiously, Sakura-chan, what's that? Sakura held up the book for Naruto to see and replied, it's a medical ninjutsu textbook. I asked the head of the orphanage about medical ninjutsu today, and she recommended some books for me to read first. So, I borrowed one from the library. Why did you suddenly decide to become a medical ninja? Naruto wondered why Sakura had taken an interest in medical ninjutsu so early on. Sakura pondered for a moment before replying, because I find it hard to help you guys in combat, and sometimes I feel like a burden. But if I learn medical ninjutsu, I can be more useful. Naruto gave her a thumbs up and encouraged, you can do it. Your chakra control is amazing, so maybe you have a natural talent for medical ninjutsu. Glancing at Sasuke, Sakura nodded resolutely. Yes, I'll do my best. Naruto picked up his Rasengan and was about to continue practicing when he suddenly paused. Wait, am I encouraging someone to study medicine? Naruto looked up at the sky. It was clear, with no sign of thunderstorms. Peaceful days are short. The atmosphere at the training ground was harmonious. Sasuke practiced his Shunshin no Jutsu among the trees. Occasionally, dozens of Sasuke's phantoms would appear and disappear. Sakura sat in the shade with a medical textbook as thick as a dictionary on her lap. She read intently, occasionally glancing up at Sasuke for a brief eye refresh before returning to her book. Naruto's clones held Rasengans in the open space, striking various poses and expressions while practicing. There was even a clone of Naruto in a blonde pigtail wig, fuming. Naruto suddenly remembered a rumor he heard in his previous life about some shady online streamers who would wear women's clothing to get better luck. Maybe trying a similar tactic would give him some inspiration. It was worth a shot. Although the main body would never be caught in a dress, a clone trying it out wouldn't hurt. Besides, if it didn't work, the clone would just disappear anyway. No harm done. When the clone dispersed, Naruto's face turned red. It was understandable when a one-off Naruto Uzumaki number 001 appeared earlier. After all, he was a bit of a prankster, so perhaps his clone's personality got a bit exaggerated. But Naruto didn't remember having any interest in cross-dressing, and yet, here was this memory of Naruto Uzumaki, the legendary, most beautiful woman in the Naruto world. Seriously, can you guys consider the circumstances before messing around with my clones? Teammates are watching. Hey, Kurama, why don't you come out and blow up Konoha? Naruto thought. No way, the food in Konoha is pretty good, Kurama replied. At this time, a plain-looking boy was wandering around Konoha's snack street, holding a pile of snacks, eating heartily with a joyful expression. Upon closer inspection, one could see his eyes had vertical pupils. It was a clone that Naruto had lent to Kurama, who had changed its appearance on purpose. Naruto couldn't help but complain, Kurama, could you eat a little less? Every time the clone disperses, I feel so full even though I haven't eaten anything. It's weird. What does it matter? It's just a sensation caused by memory regression anyway, and who insisted that I should experience human food? Naruto gave up arguing with Kurama and began to reflect on his training. After an afternoon of practice, he felt like his Rasengan was on the verge of a breakthrough, but it still needed something more. Naruto looked at his red, swollen palms. Tomorrow, it'll be done. The three friends headed home, but as they parted ways, Sasuke and Sakura exchanged strange looks, prompting Naruto to rush home even faster. The next day, the three shinobi followed Kakashi to take on a mission to clean up garbage from a river. After a busy morning, they returned to the training ground to continue their practice. Kakashi joined them this time. It seemed like a rare moment of responsibility, but Naruto suspected it was more likely because Kakashi had finished the novel he was reading and had nothing else to do. After asking about their training progress, Kakashi learned that all 3 students had mastered basic skills like tree climbing and water walking. Naruto and Sasuke were focused on their ninjutsu, while Sakura was diligently pursuing her path. Kakashi nodded in satisfaction. This teaching gig was really easy. Rarely did he need to put in any effort himself, and he didn't even have to worry about his training. So, Kakashi casually found a tree, leaned against it, and prepared to dive back into his book. Naruto practiced diligently for over an hour, focusing his chakra into the Rasengan in his hand, spinning, maintaining, and increasing the chakra output. Finally, with a snap, the Rasengan burst. Naruto looked at the fragments on the ground with joy. It was finally complete. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading. 40. Donut Maker. Published by Scribble Hub. Naruto, sensing that he was nearing the completion of the Rasengan, stretched out his hand and visualized an invisible sphere within his grasp. He concentrated on containing his chakra within the boundaries of that imaginary sphere. Blue chakra surged in Naruto's hand, forming thousands of chakra threads that spiraled around a central point, following different paths until they coalesced into what resembled a translucent ball of energy. This was the preliminary form of the Rasengan, but its power was still far from the perfected version. Naruto pressed the chakra ball against a nearby tree, and with a bang, sawdust flew as a hole about the size of a basketball was blasted into the trunk. Excited, Naruto summoned 10 shadow clones, instructing them to strike the tree with their unfinished Rasengans. The surrounding trees were left in disarray, a clear testament to the destructive power of the jutsu. Next, as long as he kept practicing to make the Rasengan more stable and powerful, he would fully master it. His 2 teammates were already accustomed to Naruto's antics and didn't pay much attention. Kakashi, however, had noticed Naruto's progress. He looked at the blonde boy with the blue sphere in his hand. It was as if he could see the shadow of Minato-sensei. Kakashi walked over to Naruto, instinctively ruffling his hair, and asked, "Have you mastered the Rasengan?" "Not quite yet, but with more practice, I'll perfect it soon. After that, I'm planning to learn the Flying Thunder God Jutsu. Got any tips?" "The Flying Thunder God? You'd be better off asking Genma and the others. Or better yet, ask Minato-sensei directly," Kakashi replied with a bit of helplessness. Minato-sensei had tried to teach him, but unfortunately, he didn't have the knack for it. Despite being called a genius, Kakashi knew he wasn't skilled in every aspect. "Haha, your answer makes me feel like I should have already asked him, huh? I've also studied the Flying Thunder God seal quite a bit, but I'm still working on getting the hang of it." "Then I'm not sure I can help," Kakashi admitted, though he was looking forward to the day Naruto mastered the Flying Thunder God. The combination of the Rasengan and the Flying Thunder God would make Naruto Konoha's second yellow flash. "Hey, what's the use of asking you, huh? Maybe there is some use," Naruto mused, deciding to give his mentor something to do. "What's on your mind?" Kakashi sensed mischief in Naruto's tone. "What do you think about Sasuke?" In terms of strength, he's certainly strong for a genin, and he's talented, especially since he awakened the Sharingan at such a young age." Kakashi began to catch on to what Naruto was suggesting. "Then why not teach him that move of yours?" Kakashi sighed. "You mean Chidori? Don't go renaming other people's jutsu without permission. I still think Donut Palm sounds cooler, but if you don't like that, I've got another name, Donut Maker, where a single strike creates a hole in the CH. Stop. Kakashi interrupted Naruto's wild naming spree and brought the conversation back on track. "Why do you suddenly want me to teach Sasuke Chidori?" "Because we're all training hard, and it feels wrong watching you do nothing," Naruto thought, but instead, he said. "Sasuke's learned a lot of flashy jutsu, but he still lacks a powerful, one-hit kill move. The Sharingan and Donut Maker would be a perfect match." Kakashi couldn't argue with that. After all, he knew from personal experience how well the Sharingan complemented Chidori. "Alright, I'll go check on Sasuke's progress." With that, Kakashi left, and Naruto created more shadow clones to continue practicing the Rasengan, determined to grasp the spatial awareness needed for the Flying Thunder God Jutsu on his own. Naruto had also wanted to learn Chidori, not necessarily for practical use, but just for fun. With his chakra reserves, plus the chakra of the 9 tails within him, he might even be able to create a city-level version of the Donut Palm Jutsu for amusement. What should I name it then? But that could wait. Mastering the Flying Thunder God Jutsu was more important. After all, it's hard to play a game without being able to flash step. Before long, Naruto heard the distinct chirping sound of birds. Kakashi must have been demonstrating Chidori. It seemed that Kakashi and Sasuke had hit it off and jumped straight into training mode. That evening, after Naruto returned home, Kushina suddenly called out, "Naruto, come here. Mom's going to teach you a new ninjutsu." "Ninjutsu?" Naruto asked, puzzled. "That's right, a sensory ninjutsu." "Why do you suddenly want to teach me a sensory technique?" Naruto wondered. Kushina tapped her chin with her finger as she explained, "Well, you know how Shino's presence is so low it's easy to overlook him. So, I learned a sensory jutsu from Minato just to avoid ignoring him. Before I say something important, I quietly sense how many people are in front of me to make sure I haven't missed him. But today, I realize that even without consciously using sensory jutsu, I can sense the chakras around me. So, what? Did she awaken Kagura's mind eye?" Naruto was taken aback, feeling like he had a lot to say. For example, was Shino's presence really that low, almost to the level of a Kekkei Genkai? And did she learn a sensory jutsu just to keep track of her students? And Kagura's mind eye, awakened for such an absurd reason? Was she joking? Could it get any more ridiculous? In short, Kushina had indeed mastered this ability. She then explained to Naruto the sensation of using Kagura's mind eye, how, with herself at the center. She could sense all the chakras within a 5-kilometer radius and distinguish between them. As she grew more accustomed to the ability, the range seemed to be gradually increasing. Naruto thought that if he could match these different chakras with specific people, it would be like playing an RPG with a minimap. Finally, Kushina taught Naruto the sensory ninjutsu she'd been using frequently, encouraging him to practice it diligently. The jutsu was called chakra sensing, invented by the great ninjutsu pioneer Tobirama Senju. It didn't require any hand signs. All you needed to do was touch the ground or a wall with your fingers, and you could sense anyone nearby. For general sensing, you didn't need to take any action, but this technique required a certain level of talent. Naruto's family had this talent. Minato had used it before when he led Kakashi and the others on the battlefield. So, Naruto's training regimen expanded, but he didn't mind. After all, who wouldn't want a mini-map? "Mom, can you sense how much chakra I have, say, compared to Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto asked, curious about something he'd been wondering for a long time, though his question was tinged with a bit of mischief towards Kakashi. Hey everyone, if you want to read 20 advanced chapters, you can join Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/imxno. Thank you for reading.